against D'Amico, I think. Yeah, it was. Is that 50 for Lip? It was. And it might be a double here. Lucas, just don't be surprised if this is a 100-metre penalty. And it is. So Lip and then more Lip, and it's a very rare 100-metre penalty, which should create an automatic goal for the Maggies. I'm surprised someone hasn't been carded, actually. Just seeing who's taking this kick, just looking at the numbers is...
Is it Josh Glackett? No.
Is it 38?
It's Glackett, Josh Glackett in 3.
It's Josh Glackett in 3. Point blank range, second goal, Wyong Lakes. From a very rare 100-metre penalty given by Riley Luck. Wyong Lakes 2 straight 12 flying out of the gun. Maitland yet to score. Lucas James Holmes.
Thank you, David. 2 goals back-to-back here. Wyong with another fast start. That's what they want. Coach Michael Solomons will be very happy with this start so far. Didn't allow Maitland to score. They had that opportunity through Grimmer and bounced back with 2 straight goals. Doyle in the middle there. Toz, of course, rucking. Josh Glacken on the far side of screen there. Moore, of course, as well in the centre. And we're going to have a bounce.
Oh,
we do. David Parsons doesn't get recalled. Well done. Here's Moore in and under, as he so often does. Try to beat 3. He does, and there's a free kick here.
Holding the ball, Louis. So Taylor must have had a tackle in play, did he? He must have.
He did.
Over you.
Thank you. Back to the ruckman in Taylor. Taylor goes long on that nice left foot. Courage from Toz back with the flight. Wraps up into tackle there. No prior opportunity, and we'll have a ball up. Near the junction of the 50 and the square.
Can you see that now, Lucas?
Yes, I can. Thank you. 4.5 almost gone. Give that one to Toz over the top. Eads there on the outside. So often does. It was high contact to begin with, but wasn't paid. On Pedler. In and under there, Chris Pedler. And we'll have another secondary stoppage. Toz trying to run from the side. Gets a right-handed tap down to Moore. Gets a scrubby left foot kick to Moore. Can't quite get it out. Shovels his hands backwards. Pedler gets another handball forwards. Very scrappy in here at the moment. Toz butters up for Moore. Gets us another short handball out. And we're going to have another stoppage here. Just inside 50 for Wyong. That was Ben Glacken at the bottom of that stoppage. Up goes Stanton again. Toz gets a long left fist out here. McMahon's there. Can't quite get there. Scrubby kick forward. Abates 3 or 4 players there. Raslin's in and under again. Lays a tackle. Great tackle, Andrew Raslin. And another stoppage here on true centre wing here, David, with 5.5 minutes gone, sir.
Thank you, Lucas. Roach is going up into this contest. Toz must be sitting behind the play, is he? Yeah, he is. He's gone back to defensive, to form a defensive wall at centre-half back. That ball, as soon as it gets thrown up, gets caught by that win. Moore might be in trouble there. Umpire, correct decision. Lee Moore held on to that football, and that's D'Amico Aiden with the football. Goes low, very low, and poorly, really. Picked up by Carter Jones at half-back. Should be coming wide, looking for Doyle. Very good contest there on Doyle. Raslin, one of the goal kickers, taps it out, I thought almost illegally. No prior there, and as that wind really starts to pick up again, it just comes and goes. Lucas has been doing that all day.
It was quite interesting, David. I saw from the team sheets that were named last night, Braden Toz was actually named to start at full forward, so they've obviously changed that straight away. That's going to be a block.
I think it's to Newstead, Lucas, over here at the back. Is it? Oh, so the umpire gave that with the wrong hand. Free kick, Keaton Jones. Short, hits Roach on the chest, and he's impossible to stop once he's in front, the big man. Low left foot driving ball, goes to centre-half forward. There's McFan. Can he get the disposal? A fascinating handball. Back to McFan with a 1-2. Off the ground, McFan! Just taken through by Jordan. And he's rushed that through. Wyong Lakes 2-1-13. Maitland yet to score. Lucas Holmes.
Jordan immediately plays on out of the square, which is a great new rule introduced at the start of this season. Gets it into the centre square. D'Amico drops a chest mark. McMahon's in and under there. In and out. Here we go. Is Glacken. Glacken gets a left-hand handball to the outer side to McFan. Fairly up the ground from McFan. Can he keep the ball in? No, he can't. We'll have a stoppage. On this defensive side here where that breeze is howling, as you can see with those trees in the background. And Moore's crumbing at the bottom, as you'd expect, at the feet of Taylor. See how much of effect that wind has taken with that throw in, David. It has to be recalled.
It wasn't howling at Fane Oval today. It was close to the water.
Yep.
Okay.
Right on the water here too at Don Small Oval. Boundary umpire smartly brings it in a few metres as well. And off we go. No, the recall it again. Was it a free kick? Free kick for a hold this time. Plucked out to Braden Toz by Ryan Stanton. Toz, a chipping left boot inside forward 50. McPhan, it's smartly smothered. Well done there. Gets the ball out of play.
Just quick updates for you, Lucas Holmes. All dead set at the level at Adcock Park. Gosford and Singleton, 7 points apiece. Newcastle City, 3 straight over Warners Bay, 1-1. Terrigal Avoca have beaten Nelson Bay by walkover. And Cardiff, 1-1-7 over Kelowna Vale early on, Lucas.
It's going to be a fascinating match up there at Pasterfield, David. A very tight game. I think 7 points in the first round of the season. With Cardiff narrowly getting the victory in that circumstance.
Was that one of the games that you actually called at Tuggerah, or had you gone by then?
I'd gone by then.
Yeah, that was tight. Kelowna Vale like to play in and under against them. If they let Cardiff get out, and Delure's not playing today either.
No, he's not. No.
Neither is Jack Lennon. So that's their interesting decisions there by Cardiff.
And Zach Medcalf slots back in at full back as well, David.
Starts to get a familiar look about it at defence. Should be a chest mark. It's very hard to mark with this breeze. It really is going to take a while. Gary Birkinshaw once told us, Lucas, that he'd much rather play in rain than play in wind. He says footballers really have issues with it, and he's spot on, like most observations the great man makes. And if you're listening, Scott Birkinshaw over there in England, I hope you're well, mate. Umpire luck, late in for this game as an umpire, and doing a good job so far. Patrick McMahon, who we've hardly called, Lucas, he's just hardly got in the game, really. Spriggs gets a little kick out. It's picked off by Keaton Jones. Now, Lucas, in this breeze, that is a very, very tough kick. The breeze is at its most moderate, has been for about a quarter and a half. But when the ball gets about 3/4 in through its travels, it almost goes end over end. Jones from 45. Low driving ball. Holds up. To the right, almost to Mark Raslan. Jordan with him on. I thought Raslan's got him for body strength. Lovely step around by Doran. And a very calm, composed piece of play gets Patrick McMahon at centre-half back.
Spot on, David. Good call there. McMahon. That's not going to be 15. That's going to be play on. Steps inside one. Does Jordan. Jordan goes again on that short, low style of kicking, which is going to be very important on a day like today, as we've pointed out already. In and under there is going to be a push in the back. It is. I think that's going the way of Guy in 16. Guy gets back off the mark and plays on to this near side to us. Great mark there. Hits D'Amico's lace out. Aiden goes long and high. They got one over the back if they can find it to Maitland. Grimmer's there trying to imply that forward pressure. D'Amico butters up for more. Goes long and high. Where's this ball going to bounce? Sits up on its end. They've got time here. The Wyong Lakes defence. Lumbers out. Goes long and high. Almost centrally, however. Goes over the back. Gets a quick scrubby kick away. Is that going to be 15? It is. Just to Patrick McMahon.
Not convinced it was 15, Lucas.
It was a questionable one. However, we move on. And that mark's taken uncontested in the end by Chris Pedler deep. Inside Maitland's forward 50 for their first set shot at goal today. We'll see how the wind looks at this end of the ground.
That is a difficult pocket in this breeze, Louis.
Sure is, David. Pedler on the on his favoured left side. Pedler. I think he's kicked it, David. Maitland's first goal through Chris Pedler. And they're on the board this afternoon. Wyong Lakes 2-1-13. Maitland 1 straight 6.
ISC have been at the cutting edge of designing and manufacturing apparel from grassroots to elite sporting teams for over 20 years and are proud to be the preferred apparel supplier of the Hunter Central Coast AFL for the 2019 season. 11 and 3/4 minutes gone here at the Don. Lucas James Holmes, Will Clark and David Redden here with you at the Don all afternoon. Looking forward to a big afternoon of footy. We'll keep you up to date with scores from around the grounds in the Black Diamond Cup. Remembering, in the course, that Terrigal Avoca have already registered a win over Nelson Bay via forfeit, which is most unfortunate. Carroll with a check side right foot kick, whacks it up in the air. Read beautifully by... Actually, I don't have a 22. That's it. Oh, yes, I do. Alex Adams. There you are. Coming down that outer wing. This is Death Valley for kicking a goal, but he's got the football. I'm going to have to redo this at quarter time, Louis. Glacken Glen. Thumps it up to the hot spot. Where's McFan? Oh, picked off by Roach. Now, let me tell you, for a left-footed player, this is seriously tough, Louis. We're interested to see if he goes check side, because he can't go Stevie J being a left-footer. He's gone 3 steps to the side. Just watch the ball drop and the way he holds it. Looks like he's going with a drop punt. This is a tough kick. Roach from deep in Death Valley. Off to the side, I reckon. Yep. Wyong Lakes 2-2-14. Maitland 1 straight 6. Lucas James Holmes.
Did very well to keep it low in that circumstance, did Roach, though. Not to let the breeze get it that much. Still had a wide effect on it. They've got one short here in the pocket if they choose. Maitland, they don't. It gets ignored. That's a risky kick in the corridor. Nearly gets picked off by Doyle there. In and on Doyle once more lays a second tackle. Doyle now gets the football out, and it's going to be a throw against Doyle. Incorrect disposal. And plays on, rolls onto his right side. Goes along in front of us here on centre wing. In front. Mark well taken there by Kennywell. Kennywell slips a little bit on his kicking. Gets it short. Kennywell gets dragged off the football legally. In and under. Goes long and high. Wyong had one loose back. Didn't quite get that far. He's dragged that football in, David, however it comes out. In more. And is that going to be a free kick for a late hit? Is that what it's paid for?
Well, if it's a late hit, it should be downfield. It must have been a free kick given at the point of kicking.
Correct, yeah.
Because it would have had to have been downfield by the rules of football. And just when he sees he's got the kick, it's not Doran. It looks like Pedler, who's a lefty, goes to the wrong side. That's death pocket over there. You can see the breeze get a hold of it, Louis. He's got to go left side. They've got to figure this out, the players, and they need to figure it out quickly. McMahon, little soccer tactics, gets it out. He's under pressure here. Pedler gets a handball, misses. Got to go straight through and stick with his... He does. Sticks to his guns. More in and under. Very well done. Clears that over towards Eade. Steps inside. Does a good job. Does Greaves. Matthew. And a lovely little short pass that's gone about 15 or 20 metres. And here he's got Stephen Doran. Now, Lucas, I'm telling you, he's got to hit this... If he's having a ping, it's left goalpost at the very least in this breeze. Doran. Let's see him work through it. Gets it out that way. Comes back. No, not over the line yet. Coming out, Pedler in the line for it here. Out of there comes Glacken. Josh sweeps it out wide. Roach is all over it. Misses the mark. Chance Doyle. Handball's out. Hits Eade on his rather large chest. And it goes out of bounds. 15 and a quarter minutes gone. Wyong Lakes up by 8 points. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Boundary throw in front of the interchange gates here at John Small Oval. Not that far from us here, just to our left. Up the ball goes. Contested, there's Roach in the ruck. In and under, can't quite get his hands on the ball. Moore swooping through as he so often does. Newstead interjects, goes long and high into Maitland's forward line. Contested marking contest, can he keep his feet? Gets a handball on the ground. Jones intercepts. Jones goes low. Found Doyle, been up early. He's Roach on. Can he keep body position? He can, but can't quite get there. Is he going to send that ball over? It's right in front of us. Great tackle there by Spriggs. As ball's out, is the call from Ryan Stanton, and then hence why there's a ball up.
Amazing how that ball stayed in all the way to when it stayed parallel of the line all the way down. Roach has done actually very well to get a stoppage for his side there. I thought it could have been a free kick to Dustin Spriggs personally, but Ryan Stanton had a good view of where the ball was. We didn't, so no comment there. Moore squares it. One-handed up was McFan. Needs to get 2 up in the air. Out there from Bennett. Oh, great tackle right in front of the umpire, made by Aaron Laxer. Superb position by the umpire, actually, perfectly side on. Gets it going forward, up to the hot spot. Now, is that a drag out towards Eade? It is. Lucas take over here. Mitchell Eade with a free kick.
He's going to Toz.
Toz, I thought it was Mitchell Eade.
No, he's going... No.
You're right. You're right. I was wrong. Over to you.
That's all right. Toz. Be no more than 25 or 30 metres out from goal, David. Very generously. Right in front. We'll be wanting to keep this low. Representative full-back, Braden Toz. Toz keeps it post height and steers it straight through. Goal for Braden Toz. Wyong Lakes' third goal. Wyong Lakes 3-2-20. Maitland 1 straight 6.
Established over 25 years ago, Awards R Us pride themselves on an ability to supply high-quality work and personal professional service. David and Lisa are experienced in fulfilling the most complex needs of their clients. Special deals available for all AFL Hunter Central Coast clubs. Wyong Lakes up by 14, and see if I can get a refresh for. I might come back at the next break, Lucas, with that refresh. I think it's going to be not enough time here, so just wait for that to come back to the fixtures. That hasn't let me refresh yet, so we'll come back to that shortly.
And Grimmer's gone into the ruck now. Grimmer and Toz, 2 young bulls. Another great bounce from Parsons. Give that one just to Toz. Gets it in the Wyong Lakes attacking direction. D'Amico's in and under. Runs into his own teammate. That's why it's play on. There's Doran. Gets a little scrubby kick along the ground. And we go. There's Pedler. In and under. Can't quite get her hands out. Toz bullies his way into the contest. Butters up for more to Toz. 2 or 3 efforts. Pedler to Newstead. And he gets a free kick for a high contact. Newstead immediately plays on. Goes laterally to a one-on-one contest. Can't quite win out there. And therefore, Wyong Lakes turn it over through Jones. Roach has got in a one-on-one here rather with Greaves. Greaves wins out. He's dived on the football. Gets it out. Roach gets a handball out to Eade. Eade goes check side across his body. Down this boundary line once again. Wins out there. Just Greaves turns it in board. Play on. It's high stakes here for Maitland. Taking on early. One bounce. Jordan will have to take another one. Runs his full measure. Goes long and wide to that outer side. Just Jordan. What can they do here? Turns over. Wyong Lakes get this ball forward. Here's Nathan Doyle. Doyle leading his foot race. He so often does. Jordan gets out of Jordan's tackle rather initially. Doyle goes long and high. McFann's at the back, and he takes a great mark over 2 opponents.
That's a terrific grab in a contest. That was a 4-man pack there, and he's come over the back with the ball dropping short. That's an excellent grab by Justin McFann. Well called, Lucas Holmes. Almost 20 minutes gone first quarter. McFann from not quite point-blank range, but very close to it. Again, as Lucas described with Braden Toss, doesn't need to get this in the air very much. Low driving balls are the go here. McFann, half goal post height, kicks a goal. Good football, Wyong Lakes, and they're looking very solid today. It's not the same Wyong side so far. Wyong Lakes, 4-2-26, Maitland 1 straight 6. Looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval Maitland and Brian Hilton Haval North Gosford for their range of affordable SUVs. Book your test drive today. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Back to the middle we go. 20 minutes gone in this first quarter. About 5 minutes remaining in this quarter of football here. Very chilly afternoon it's going to be here at Don Small Oval.
Yep.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. I think that was a response.
I didn't say that.
Back to the middle we go. Grimmer and Toz. Umpire right and stand with the football. Give that one to Grimmer. Just gets it back. Gets a miraculous handball over the back in the direction of Spriggs. Spriggs is in and under himself and does. Moving him on the football. Can Eade get this football out? Trying to burrow his way through. Gets it to Doyle. Doyle on his right foot. Screws at the ball around and McFan was in front. Couldn't quite take a mark in these trying conditions. McMahon gets there at the drop of the ball. He's going to battle up more, does McMahon. Great left boot there. Take the sting out of this to Greaves. Greaves surveys his options, plays on. Greaves goes long. Side of the square, looking for Grimmer.
Matthew Guy, I think.
Yeah, Guy takes it ahead of Grimmer. Grimmer goes too early. Guy goes long and high to a one-on-one. Great defence there. Wins out. Can they get the ball? Was that a disposal? It wasn't. It's going to be a free kick here for an incorrect disposal.
It's not Carroll. 2. Can't quite see that second number on the right-hand side of his jumper. It's a 20.
It is. It's 28. It's Cameron Mitchell. Mitchell on his left boot. What can he do? He sticks it straight through. Maitland's second goal. Cameron Mitchell's first. Maitland hit back. 2 straight 12, trailing Wyong Lakes 4-2-26.
With thanks to Central Coast Physiotherapy, Tyre Power, Bar TV, and Subway Morisset.
Sure are. Going to have to do dual Subway Morissets. David had Subway Morisset for the women's game. We have to award one for the men's game this afternoon as well here. Black Diamond Cup fixtures.
Sarah Ball.
Sarah Ball.
In the women's game was my decision. Sarah Ball.
There we go. Sarah Ball, Subway Morisset player of the match. Round 13 women's fixture here.
I'd love to see Justin McFan playing in a top 4 side. I reckon that he'd kick 70 or 80 goals.
With the
He's a good
the
player.
service. And there's a whistle, David, centre square. In fact, is it a warning or is it a free kick? It's a warning.
I think it's a warning against Maitland.
Yeah, against Maitland.
I'm sure that's what I heard, Louis.
And that's what was indicated by umpire Ryan Stanton to the ruckman and Grimmer. So that's Maitland's warning gone for the day. Toz down with that strong left hand. Come off the back of the square here to Maitland. Barnstorming forward. Bounce eludes once, twice. Is that D'Amico in there? It might be. As he dragged that in. Great tackle there. In over the football. It was Raslin once again. He's been lively early, David. Andrew Raslin.
Good goal early.
Stanton calls for the ball. Toz goes whack. Straight down to Doyle. That's been potent early. They get the numbers over the back here. McMahon's leading out. So does McFan. He drops the ball. Somehow gets a handball out. Roach gets evaded. McMahon's there. Ignores him and goes long down in front of us. Gets punched. It's Raslin as Grimmer gets out there. Barnstorming through here. Great kick inside forward 50. Can he find a target? He can't. Gets over the back. Wyong Lake's got the numbers. Quick 1-2 handballs here. Maitland recover. Goes back out. Wonderful looking kick there. Keeps it in to Pedler. Pedler on his hands and knees gets a handball out. Whips it out. Pushing the back against Jones. Not paid. We play on. In and under there. We're going to have a stoppage. We are.
Could you just check the match sheet for Maitland? They've got a number 7 playing, and we don't have them. I don't have a 7 on my sheet. Who's got the actual... I'll check that out. Have you got it there? I'll call. Can you just check number 7 for Maitland, please? I don't appear to have one. We'll get that right for our viewers. Almost a free kick. D'Amico over the shoulder. Butters up for a third effort. Sticking at it. Kick goes wide, very wide, out towards the Daintree. And it's an out-of-bounds throw-in. About 30 seconds left this quarter. Who is it, Luke?
Luke D'Amico's gone from 6 to 7.
Thank you. So that is Luke D'Amico. Thank you very much. Sorry about that, viewers. Luke D'Amico under 7. I'll make that change on my sheet, and Louis will do the same. Should be a boundary umpire throwing out, and that deep in that pocket. There's only about 20 seconds left in the quarter. Wyong will want to butter. We'll probably bring defensive people back to stop and mark up on every play. They do not need to give away a late goal here. Throw in affected awfully by the breeze. Oh, that's a check side kick. That might be a goal. Is that a goal? Oh, goodness me. That's an amazing goal. If you can just go back for us. I think it might have... Yeah, it is. It was Grimmer. What a goal from Grimmer right at the death of the quarter. The last kick of the quarter sees Wyong Lakes leading 4-2-26. Maitland, 3 straight 18. 8 points of difference. Wyong have done very well against the breeze, Louis. And Lucas and I will be back with you for the start of the second quarter shortly here at Don Small Oval in Tacoma. Welcome back to Don Small Oval in Tacoma. Score updates from around the grounds. Lucas Holmes. Gosford 25, leading Singleton 19. Here, Wyong up by 8 points over Maitland. Newcastle City 4-2-26 over Warners Bay 1-1-7. Turrigovoca has already defeated Nelson Bay. And Cardiff 2-3-15 over Killarney Vale 2 behinds, Louis.
Thank you, David. As I said, back to Don Small Oval.
Lucas Holmes and I will be talking at Conversation Corner at half-time about the how we reckon the HCCAFL HCC season is going to go. Sorry, Louis, over to you.
We're back here to fairly entertaining first quarter here. Maitland, that last goal in the last seconds to agreement was fairly important, only bringing them back to an 8-point margin behind Wyong Lakes, who had the major running in that first quarter. As we've got some...
Thank you. Yep. Thanks, Louis.
No worries.
Yeah, great work. Missing that.
Yeah, they're calling them out. They've taken a while in their first quarter huddles.
I have seen at Lightning tournaments play start with one club ready and one not. I've seen it happen, but not in full games. Only at carnivals when you've got time limitations.
Yeah. Instructed to get straight out. And that's exactly what they've done.
Lucas, you had a score update from the Sydney Cricket Ground.
I did.
6 points to Carlton.
Yes, about 12 minutes gone in the second quarter. Yeah, and the resurgent Carlton Football Club on the back. That coaching change. And back of John Longmire signing a new 3-year deal to remain in Sydney as well, David.
Rejecting a 5-year, $7.5 million to go to the Aegis Centre, or what in my terms, Arden Street.
Arden Street, yep.
Lucas Holmes, ladies and gentlemen, all yours.
Here we go. Toz and Taylor. Toz, big left hand out, in and under. Who's there? Cogden's there. Can't quite get there, though. It goes forward. Roach and McMahon. That's a fascinating matchup. It beats both of them. It's the juncture of the 50-metre line and the boundary.
In that first quarter, McMahon was flicking between Roach and also Justin McPhan, which is a very interesting use of Patrick McMahon. You're putting one of your best attacking players on two of their best defenders. It's an interesting move. Yes, I'm not sure if I agree with it, actually.
Yes, it shuts down Wyong Lakes' attack, but then Maitland don't have any attacking structure themselves, in my opinion, if they do that.
They've kicked 3 goals with the win, but we'll have to wait and see. I think McMahon won't stay at fullback all game. I can't see that happening. I think that would be an extraordinary decision.
It would be. Toz, there we go. In and under again. 2-3 efforts there from Toz. They can get their belt all out. He's taken them on.
Good decision.
And that was the right decision. Umpire Lark. Short chipping ball. Nice mark taken there by Pedler. Will wheel around on his left. Goes long down the line to that defensive side. Great mark taken out in front. Diving mark forward. Plays on. Goes round on that right side. Goes long, deep inside forward 50. They've got one out the back here if they can control the football. They're going to go off the ground. Doran, no, can't quite get there. Goes off the ground as well. Does Guy, but it goes out of bounds. Deep inside Maitland's attacking 50.
I think it might have actually flicked the behind post on the bounce. So.
Okay.
Oh, no, there you go. They've given... I think that ball should be a lot further around to the right. Everybody can see Tugger Lakes in the background. Still very choppy and breezy here. The breeze is taking massive effect on those throw-ins. Now, is this a rethrow? Is it a free kick,
That's
Lucas?
A free kick coming back here.
Do you see his number? Is that one of the Glacken brothers?
Well, there's Josh there giving the ball back. Excuse me for a second.
Comes square across the ground. Over towards Tyler Wood. Flying down in front of the combox. Goes short. Had to run hard, and he did. McPhan, a proper forwards lead there from a vastly experienced footballer. Goes short.
Beautiful
Had to be
kick.
taken. It wasn't. It was lovely. Over there is McDonald. Goes off with a left-hand handball that wasn't perfect. Over there's Glacken. Josh. Now he's got a chance. Goes down the spine. Ball goes to the right with his breeze. Jordan leading the way with the speedy halfback flank. Watch him put just the Jets on now. He's so fast. Jordan. Speaking of quick, you wonder where Trevon Babb and Job and Dry Rory are today. That'd have been handy out here in this weather, especially Bob. Over there towards... Is that... Was one of the Glacken brothers? It might have been Morris in 51. I'm not sure. I just was obscured from the number. I'm sorry, everybody. Apologies for that. Patrick McMahon right in the line with the centre circle. Free kick given, I think, here to Pankhurst. Oh, he's gone over the mark. That's 50. One step and you are gone. And that will be a dead set free kick. A dead set goal here from right in front. Point blank range from, I would think, 1 or 2 metres. And umpire right on the spot. Cannot argue with that decision at all. And a goal to Walter Pankhurst, who played some junior representative football during the week. Maitland back to 2 points in it. Maitland, 4 straight. Good kicking. And Wyong Lakes 4-2-26. Lucas Holmes.
Further ill discipline there. This time against Wyong. The back of that 100-metre penalty given early this afternoon. Beg my pardon. And we go back to the centre once again. Umpire Parsons, who's been bouncing so far today, must be fairly hard in the middle there, as it was at Fane Over earlier today, David. A bit crusty in there, though.
It wasn't hard as a rock on the deck. You would have liked to have been bowling on the deck today, would have a bit in it. Very good. Lucas Holmes, first change bowler, Redhead Cricket Club. There he's right next to us.
A bit crusty there this morning from all the rain and the resulting sunshine we've had of late. Lee Moore goes long and high with a handball. Can't quite get there. Almost legged on the tackle. Can they get in and under here? They can. It goes out the back. In and under again. Does more. Goes long and high this time. More of a worm-bonding kick, rather. Goes to Eade. Eade off the left boot. Long and high. What can they do? There's McDonald and McMahon. McMahon trying to paddle the ball into his advantage along the boundary line without being too deliberate about it. And I like to see that over the boundary line, and they have. More giving chase. Or has it been paid to... No. Yeah, he did. Thinking it was a deliberate out of bounds. It's not going to be paid. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Toz and Taylor. We'll be trying to avoid body contact, and they do this time. Toz gets a higher left-hander out. Down to Maitland this time. Go long and high. And there's going to be a hold. And it's been paid.
I swear that player's wearing 11. I might get you to check.
42, I thought that time, David.
11 to Wyong Lakes was the play with a man bun, and I reckon he's in 11. So we'll check that shortly, Lucas.
That's Kenny well in and under there.
Yep.
Head over the football, was that paid? And
it's
rightly
this player
so.
right at the back here, just going left of screen who I'm talking about,
Yep.
And I can't quite tell his number with those numbers. So we'll check that for you, ladies and gentlemen, shortly.
Continue and I shall.
Thank you. Dustin Sprees gets an intercept mark. Goes square, comes across towards Doran. Right next to the centre circle. Good driving low ball. Perfect chance, Maitland here. Pankhurst, can he turn his man? He can't. Ball back towards the arc. Now picks it up. Can't. Sees it. Whoever it is, 11. So there is an 11 definitely out there for Wyong Lakes.
It's Josh Doyle gone from 53 to 11, David.
Thank you, mate. So Josh Doyle's gone, which we weren't told at the start of play. So thank you, mate.
Not a problem. Resulting free kick there from that infringement.
Wyong Lakes, leading by 2. Singleton up by 1 over Gosford. And Newcastle City up by 20 over Warners Bay. And Kelowna haven't scored a goal yet. 25 points down to Cardiff at Pasterfield. Goes to the left foot kick off to the side behind Maitland's first blemish today. Maitland 4-1-25 or Wyong Lakes 4-2-26. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Kick out we go. You think they come... You think they go the defensive side, so it won't be as hard to bring back in if they do turn it over. But in fact, they've gone this near side to us, right in front of us, looking for Toz. Toz can't quite get there, and resulting, because of that, it's been picked off by Taylor. Taylor, the natural left footer, quite a nice kick, Taylor. Goes lace out this time. Overshoots his teammate, however, and gets picked off. Is that Doyle in 11? It is Josh Doyle in 11. The loping kicking style goes short. Good mark there by Glacken. Glacken can go even wider if he so desires and does. That's Nathan Doyle this time. Doyle plays on, goes long down the line. Glacken again. Gets dragged off the football. Both players holding. What way is it going to go? The right way. Ben Glacken can go back to Josh if he wants. Ignores him. Was that touched off the boot? No, it's been paid a mark to Braden Toz.
It was just a helicopter. It was an awful kick. And Toz happened to be in the right place at the right time. This is a very difficult kick. It's 50 out. He won't even bother having a ping. Goes short, and I think that's McDonald out there in 25, Louis. And again, this is such a tough kick from that angle. Kicking across the. Now, if you look at the left-hand end, Lucas and I have to the naked eye, behind the goals of this end, there's hardly any breeze. It's quite extraordinary. From the right-hand end, it is really blowing. But where McDonald is, there's not much breeze. He still needs to kick this left goalpost, Louis, and work it back with the breeze. McDonald inside the arc. Left foot, I reckon, is off to the side, is he? Waiting on the goal umpire. Burrows, it's a behind. Wyong Lakes 4-3-27. Maitland 4-1-25. Louis?
Did kick that very close to the man on the mark there, McDonald as well, so that might have factored into the result. McFan manning the mark. Plays on immediately. Will go short into the pocket to McMahon. Not a bad option. McMahon with that booming left foot he possesses. Uses it. Plays on to this outer side. This is coming straight in front of us here in 2's centre wing. Cut off by Keaton Jones. Jones goes short into the corridor. Inch perfect kick in the end to McDonald. Just over the head of Grimmer. McDonald on that left foot once more. They've got 2 or 3 out the back here. Gets touched. Play on. Goes inboard to Eade. What's Eade going to do? He's going to try and pick the ball up. Lose his feet. Cogden does the same. Gets a handball out. Taylor intercepts. Gets a handball out and there's a rush kick. It's coming straight back. Jones.
Who's
walks
gone
around
back
on the mark.
to 4 from 29.
Yep.
On our sheet there. We were told he was 29 during the week with the Indigenous said he's got his number 4, which is his... Oh, that's a throw. That's a point-blank throw. So was that. But how Patrick Umar disposed of that, I do not know. He should have been playing at Stadium Australia on Wednesday night. Out there, deep inside the arc. Anybody's ball. Toz just through force of will alone. Is that out in the foot or is it off the knee? Out in the full. Lee Moore will take this kick. I reckon that's... Thank you. I saw that as coming off the knee, and that means it's that's not a kick. So that is out of bounds on the bounce, and we have a throw-in. Well called field umpire Parsons. 10 minutes gone, second quarter. Wyong Lakes up by 2. Scoreboard's wrong, I might add. They've missed a behind. Toz and Taylor, they still have a great battle all day. Absolutely no prior. In and under there was Doran. Tap out right-handed Toz. Little low kick comes out, scudding sort of a kick. Dragged out of that, I thought, was Mitchell. Oh, handball picked up beautifully by Grimmer. Gets a reverse worm burner on that one, but it comes straight back. You can see, Lucas, regularly how slippery it is on the foot. Those blokes with ordinary boots are slipping over regularly. Doyle. Picked up by Lucas Holmes as being a number 11. Out to Nathan Doyle. And he's 59. Goes down the line. Good ball movement there. Is that out of bounds on the full? Waiting on the umpire, and it is. And wearing the Hannibal Lecter headband. Oh, it's not the Hannibal Lecter. He's got the full headband on his Harrison Harbrow. And over to Lucas Holmes with 2 points of difference at Wyong Lakes.
Thank you, David. Just another number change as well. Mason Lux is on our sheet says 57. He's in number 1 as well, David. It's Mason Luxer. They go deep into the pocket. They're going to... Oh, no. Straight to McFarn. Very scrubby kick. Can they make it pay here at Wyong Lakes? They've got the numbers at the ball. There's Raslin. Gets dragged off the football there. Was it pay? Yes, it is.
I think it's Keaton Jones at 7. Lucas, and you weren't watching. You were excited. Mouth there. Dave Parsons has got descent. And Keaton Jones will take this kick from the line.
And will convert. And accidentally called him his brother earlier. Sorry, Carter. He's missed. Hold on, David. He's missed. Head in hand, and it's a point.
Gracious me. Seen it all now. There'll be schooners in that tonight. 28-25. Wyong Lakes up. Will that cost them at the end of this game? You hope not, Carroll. Over the head. And I reckon taken out of bounds. It's a play on call, correct?
No advantage. Wasn't continuous.
You would dispute that. He's got that 50 metres forward. Yeah. Okay. Can you explain why, please? Instead of me disagreeing, tell the fans what it is.
So there was an advantage there, but because the play wasn't continuous, both players from both sides have stopped. That's why it was called back to the original free kick.
Thank you, Lucas Holmes.
And rightly done there. I'm not sure if it was David Parsons or Ryan Stanton in control there, but well done. Doyle intercepts. Gets it down. Doyle butters up for more. Stormy inside forward 50. Doyle! Misses. Another point for Wyong Lakes. 4-5-29. Maitland 4-1-25. 13 gone.
Lucas, can you hold the microphone? I'm just going to get the scoreboard updated for everybody, okay?
Yep, I can do that. Back to the middle we go. This is Jordan. Athletic halfback flanker here for the Maitland Football Club. Jordan plays on. Goes long and high to this outer side, to this pack of players. Who's at the back? Toz is at the back. He's in a 2-on-1 contest against him. Toz butters up for more. Can't quite get there, Toz, but he stays there. And ball gets wrapped up. And we'll have a throw in. That's Tyler Wood at the bottom of that. Ryan Stanton doing well to control the players. Bit of tension out there, bit of feeling. Toz, has Maitland got a ruck? No Maitland ruck. No, they have. They've got one in there late. So Toz will go up contested this time. That actually gone against Toz this time. Goes down there. Great tackle, and that will be paid holding the football. Great tackle. Nathan, no, not Doyle. Keaton Jones trying to make amends from that point-blank range miss from a few minutes ago. Goes inboard to McDonald. McDonald wheels around on that left boot. Goes long and high, McDonald. Who can he find forward of the football? Uncontested, the Maitland player goes up. Greaves is there, front and centre. Has that gone off the ground? That's an interesting one. It's gone through for a point off the ground there from a Wyong player. Wyong Lakes now 5-6-30. Maitland 4-1-25.
Thank you, Lucas. Mini A on the mark here. Short ball comes out. The old traditional style. Jordan, if he gets open pasture, he's deadly. There he goes. Steps on a threatening bit and chips it. That's a dangerous kick, though. Well-read Nathan Doyle. Out there, way out there in Death Valley and Purgatory in the pocket. Goes square. Can't quite get Carter Jones. Razzle off the left. Mark taken right in the depths of defence. I think that's Dylan Bennett in 57. Way back there in defence. Newstead short. Ignores that. Looks for Taylor. And Toz in front. Braden Toz, a good contested mark. Goes square. A bit low. Picked up brilliantly by Carter Jones. Backwards. Back to Jones. He should go back again here and finds Logan. Should step there as he does. Gets it inside 50. Not a good ball for the forwards. Picked off by the Maitland defence. Thump it straight down the spine. No mark taken there by 20 Adams. And a free kick given out there towards Kennywell in 42. Straight down the ground. Poor kick, really. Off the side of his boot, off the instep. Pedler, who's a natural left footer. They want to be wary of him out there. Now they get him to ground. Josh Doyle's in there. Gets the football eventually. Handballs it out. Push off coming from Aiden D'Amico. Turns around on a threatening bit again. Grimmer, who kicked a cracking goal at the end of the first quarter. Almost a push in the back. Not paid. And it's a ball up. 16 minutes gone, second quarter. Wyong Lakes 4-6-30, and they haven't kicked a goal this quarter. Maitland 4-1-25.
Hugh David. Jones and Grimmer resuming battle once more. Sorry, Toz and Grimmer, rather. Toz gets a thumping left hand out of the right contest and sees it over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in, not too far from where the original ball up took place. We're just looking for some scores around the ground as well here. In the AFL Hunter Central Coast competition, Black Diamond Cup. As the ball gets thrown into play. D'Amico's there at the bottom, can't quite get there. That was a fascinating disposal. Short and sharp was missed. Throw in my opinion. Greaves and Glacken. Glacken does well to keep this in. In fact, he doesn't. It goes out of bounds.
Around the grounds, Gosford 6-1-37, Singleton 5-3-33. Here, Wyong Lakes up by 5 points. Newcastle City 5-4-34, Warners Bay 1-2-8, and Cardiff have absolutely belted Killarney Vale 7-5-47 to 3 behinds at Pasterfield. Lucas Holmes.
Found some form there, Cardiff, with some key players out, as we touched on earlier. Jack Lennon and Marcus Delure, to name a few. In and under there, was that a disposal correctly? It wasn't. Goes missed. There's Jones in and under there. Keaton Jones at the bottom of that pack this time. And umpire Parsons is called for the football. We'll have a ball up. You can see the centre circles at the bottom of screen, centre of screen there at the bottom, where Tyler Wood's now moving from. Secondary fist has gone forward. Does well not to infringe there. They're at the bottom here, Maitland gets a hat kick out. It's going to be paid the mark if they can get there. They can. Grimmer comes flying through. Is that going to be 50 metres?
He's 3 metres in front of the mark, Lucas. Good kick, Grimmer.
And goes over the back to Pedler. Plays behind his man with this breeze. Quite a smart move in the end.
And also, right now, it's almost the most still it's been all day. There's a small breeze, a slight breeze at the moment. It really is the best conditions for footy all day. Pedler, a lefty from 40, needs to kick this one. Breeze gets it.
And he's kicked it.
So that's Pedler's second goal. And Maitland are in front, Lucas Holmes, despite at times Wyong Lakes having a lot of the football. Maitland in front by a point. So Maitland have kicked the only 2 goals this quarter, and Wyong Lakes have nominally got the breeze. So very interesting there. We thank Bar TV, Subway Morisset, and Tyre Power for their sponsorship of football.
We sure do, David. Back to the middle we go. It's Harrison Harbrow wearing the headband there.
Ryan Stanton, the prime possum with the football in number 32, Louis.
Sure is. Great umpire, Ryan Stanton. Toz. Slightly disadvantaged that time was Taylor. The 2 left-handed ruckman. Moore wraps up in a tackle in there. Gets the ball out. Does very well. Trying to dispose of that over his head. Get his hands free, does Eade. Gets dispossessed. What can Maitland do here on the counter-attack? They can't quite get there. Was his head over the football? If it was high. That was my opinion anyway. Great mark there. Kennywell was paid. Immediately plays on a fascinating kick inside forward 50. What way is it going to bounce, though? Pedler can't quite keep his feet. It's been rushed through there. Last line of defence by Emmanuel Edwards, doing the mopping up at the end. Edwards, from the resulting kick-out, surveying his options, looks to the far side, comes back to this attacking side. Dangerous one. Toz flies at the back. Gets one hand to it, can't quite get there. Kennywell's in and under. Busts one tackle, busts another. Kennywell gets a haphazard handball forward to make sure he doesn't get caught. Toz sweeps it up. And mark's taken, plays on immediately, does Carroll rather, and it goes deep over the line, deep inside Maitland's forward 50, looking to try and get another goal on the board, the third for them this quarter, with Wyong Lakes yet to score a goal in this second quarter, David. About 20 and a half minutes gone rather as this ball gets thrown in.
Indeed. Maitland up by 2 points, 5-2 to 4-6, 32 to 30. Secondary tap out comes out. Oh, chance at a goal here. I think he's kicked it.
Or was it touched off the boot?
Waiting on the goal number. I reckon this is a goal, and is. So Stephen Doran's kicked a very, 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 very fine snap. Maitland 6-2-38 and have kicked the last 1-2. They've kicked the last 5 of this game. We have seen Wyong Lakes do this before, Lucas Holmes, once or twice, kick a bevy of goals. And then, and in fact, Gosford and Wyong Lakes a few weeks ago, Gosford did the reverse. They kicked, I think they were 5.
5 or 6 in a row.
And then Wyong come back. So they've really stopped. And it's interesting. I still don't necessarily agree with Patrick McMahon playing in the back line. However, at the moment, Maitland are playing very convincing football, getting their hands to it first. And Wyong Lakes have got to find an answer. Back to you, Louis.
Thank you, David. Back to David Parsons in the middle. Must be fairly solid out there. As I said before, he's just bouncing. Toz gets that ball down, gets sharked by his Maitland opponent. They'll be almost wise in roving 2 Toz, you'd think, David. Might look into that a bit later. Doyle's in and under there. There's Raslin, in fact. Raslin goes long and high. Is that mark going to be taken by Eade? It isn't. Gets it down to Moore. Moore handballs for himself. Can he keep the ball? And he does. On his non-preferred right boot, gets a kick through. There's Jordan. Great hit. Was it legal? It was. Moore. And we see the ball over the line. No, it's been kept in fact. Is Jordan down in the background? They've got one over the back, and McFarn waltzes into an open goal.
Sam Jordan still showing. And Mitchell Eade, I think you'll find, has got a dislocated finger. Now, that mark he dropped a minute ago, I'm sure that Eade's got a dislocated finger there and has rushed straight off to get fixed up. To goal, Justin McFan. Wyong Lakes 5-6-36. Maitland 6-2-38. Bar TV, make your game the main game. It's been our privilege to call on Bar TV for 4 years. Their coverage of local sport in the Hunter and Central Coast is unparalleled. And they cover all codes. It's great to be with you every Saturday afternoon. It's one of the privileges that Lucas and I have. And Bar TV do a superb job supporting local sport. They make your game, Lucas, the main game.
They do, David. Back to the middle we go. Heavy but legal hit there from Lee Moore, and Justin McFan somehow found on his lonesome out the back. It's an interesting one. Must have all been sucked up with the football, as it so often the case is in modern football these days. Toz once again looking for Glacken. Moore's sniping as he so often does. Jones is in and under as well. Carroll gets through, gets driven into the ground by Toz legally. That's a free kick to Toz.
Yeah, for holding the ball.
Okay.
So I was watching Riley Luck give the decision. That hand went the wrong way at the first instance, but gave the complete holding the ball motion, and that was that. Must have been close to a sling tackle because he was driven into the ground onto his shoulder.
He was. Doyle had that ball out on the outer wing, pumps it inside forward 50, and we'll have a stoppage. Deep inside Wyong Lakes, forward 50, after kicking their first goal for the quarter. Only now down by 2 points. Toz down to McFan. That's dangerous. Can he get the ball off? He does. Can he complete the mark? No. In and under there. Gets a snapping little kick away. And that ball's not coming out of there. And we'll have a stoppage right next to the right-hand point post. Deep inside Wyong Lakes. Attacking 50. No more than a minute left in this first half. Here, they need to keep tight here to Maitland. Bottom of there is McMahon, as we were talking about before. Shrugs one tackle, shrugs another, gets a left foot kick around the corner. Where's it going to go? Step inside is Harbrow in that headband. Harbrow goes long and high with the handball. D'Amico's in and under there. Can they capitalise here, Maitland? They've got some space if they can use it. Mark dropped by Grimmer. Well done there. They've got numbers off the back of the stoppage to Wyong. Was that taken below the knees? It doesn't matter because it's his own man.
Player, yep.
Wyong now uses this ball on the outer side. Here's Doyle. Uses his left boot this time. Goes long and high. Doyle down the line. And has he kept the ball in? He has. But it's gone out of bounds. And by the time this ball comes in, there will be only probably a small passage of play left here in this second half. As to our right of screen, the wind is back up again after its small absence before. And it is mighty cold here. Break stoppage here, Maitland. They go long down the line. Picked off. No, not quite there by Doyle. Been prominent. He's had 2 or 3 touches in this last couple of minutes. Has he dragged that ball back in? No. And there was a free kick there, but it doesn't matter because it's half-time here at Don Small Oval. Maitland 6-2-38, leading Wyong Lakes in a highly competitive game, 5-6-36.
Thank you, Lucas. Lucas and I will have a couple of minutes break and then come back with halftime conversation corner, and we're going to speak the run into the AFL HCC final series. Back with you in 3 or 4 minutes. Welcome back for Conversation Corner here at halftime in the Black Diamond Cup. Score updates around the grounds. Gosford 6-1-37 leading Singleton 5-5-35. Here, Maitland 6-2-38 leading Wyong Lakes 5-6-36, so two real thrillers there. The other two games aren't so close. Newcastle City 7-5-47 against the depleted Warners Bay 1-2-8. Terrigal Avoca's defeated Nelson Bay by walkover. And Cardiff, that's the one that's the most surprising to me, Lucas. Cardiff running all over Killarney Vale 8-5-53. 139.
And at the SCG, David, Carlton leading Sydney by 10 points at halftime, and early and midway through the second quarter at UTAS Stadium down there at Launceston, Hawthorn 33, Fremantle 9.
Okay, so we're going to just talk now where teams are running into the finals. I will stay from the get-go that I think, Lucas, that Terrigal Avoca and Newcastle City will finish 1 and 2 with some sort of order, giving themselves a week off. So alphabetically, Cardiff finish off with actually a very good draw. They're in the middle of 3 weeks at home, and then they don't leave the Hunter Valley for the rest of the year. So Cardiff have got Cardiff have got Killarney Vale today. Then they've got Singleton at Rose Point next week. Newcastle City in a Bar TV absolute epic at Newcastle number 1. Then Maitland away. They finish off with 2 consecutive weekends at Pasterfield. I can see Cardiff winning all but one of those games, and I think that will get themselves into third place. That's the way I see that it going.
With you on that one.
Killarney Vale have got Cardiff today and they're struggling. They've got Nelson Bay again next week, which is a very big game for Killarney Vale.
Which we've got as well.
Which I've got on Bar TV up at Dick Burwell. Then Gosford at home, Singleton away. That's another big game for them because that's putting Singleton are starting to play decent footy. Maitland at home, and then they've got Terrigal Avoca in the last round. I think Killarney Vale might end up finishing 4th and get into a 4th versus 5th, to be quite honest. That's the way I see that going with their draw. Maitland, who are only an outside chance at the finals, are in the middle, starting off today of 4 matches out of 5 away. Wyong Lakes here today. Terrigal Avoca next week at Hilton Moroval. That's a nice old task. Then they've got Nelson Bay at Dick Burwell. Then they've got Cardiff at home. Then they've got Killarney Vale away, second last game, and Warners Bay last game of the season, which could end up being a very important game, and that's at Fayon, an important game for Warners Bay, actually, Lucas. Warners Bay want to avoid finishing 6th if they can. It's that Singleton and Warners Bay are very close together. Won't worry about them, but I will worry here. So Newcastle City have got a pretty good run home for themselves. They've got some good competitive football. Today they've got Warners Bay. Then they've got 2 consecutive weeks at home, Newcastle City. They've got Wyong Lakes and Cardiff. Again, that broadcast game, the 27th of July, will be an absolute cracker. And unfortunately, Lucas, you were telling me earlier on, you'll be umpiring Walls End, Newcastle, Warners Bay at that time. So
I will.
Might have to give Jack the Beast another run at number 1 again, actually. Gosford, then in their third last game away, Terrigal Avoca. That's a huge match on the 10th of August.
Do you know if we've got that one?
We don't. We have Nelson Bay against Singleton that day. And their last game, Newcastle City, all 3 grades up at Rose,
which we have,
which we do have, and I think I'll be able to do now, is at Rose Point Park. Singleton, now this is where it gets interesting. Well, not that it's boring. Singleton today really need to beat Gosford. They've got Cardiff at Rose Point Park, so they've got home and away the rest of the season. Warners Bay at Warners Bay on the 27th of July, huge game. Then Killarney Vale at Rose Point Park, another big game for them. Nelson Bay at Dick Burwell Oval, and then they've got Newcastle City last round. You can see Singleton getting towards 28 or 32 points. Terrigal Avoca are in the middle of 4 successive games at home. They don't play today because they've got a forfeit. They've got Maitland. They've got these 2 sides in the next 2 weeks. They'll beat them both. They'll probably beat Warners Bay as well. Then they've got Newcastle City second last round, which both of those sides will look to flex their muscles. Okay, that's at Newcastle on 1 Sports Ground. And then the last game of the season, they have Killarney Vale at Hilton Moroval. So they end up having 5. In fact, they end up with 7 of the last 10 at home. They had a big away set in the early part of the season. The entrants don't play in the Cup. We'll come back to them in a minute. So you're starting to see a bit of where teams are going to be at. And then Warners Bay have a lot of the side in the middle of the ladder that they've got to play, which is interesting in their draw. I think Warners Bay have finished playing Terrigal Avoca. They've got Newcastle City today. Just bear with me. And turn that over. There we go. So this is Warners Bay's run. Warners, yes, Brad, what's up, mate? Team sheet for women's. We're just on air at the moment. I'll come back to you, okay? Okay, thank you. No, well, they can wait. We'll come back to that. I could go off air when you're commentating. Warners Bay, Lucas, just the last one here in our conversation corner. Newcastle City home, then a big game away to Gosford next week. Then a double header at home. Singleton, that's a big game. Warners Bay need to win a couple of these.
And then we've got that Bar TV. We're broadcasting that game against Terrigal the week after as well.
We are indeed. And then Warners Bay have an interesting draw to finish. They have Wyong Lakes and Maitland both away and will need to win both. So the way I see it finishing, Lucas, is that Newcastle City and Terrigal will most probably finish as the preliminary finalists. And my understanding is, without knowing the venues, is that one of those games will be on the Central Coast and one of them will be in the Hunter or in Newcastle. If those two have a rest, that will mean looking at the way the ladder is, that if it stays as it is, Cardiff will finish third. I think Killarney Vale will finish fourth. Who finishes fifth and sixth is the big one. That Warners Bay Singleton game is massive. Massive.
One of the classic 8-pointers, you call it.
Correct.
Yep.
Because you want to finish, if you were those two clubs, you have a more realistic chance of going up against a pretty decent Killarney Vale outfit than a very, very good Cardiff outfit.
Yep.
So you don't want to finish sixth in the draw. And the other reason you don't want to finish sixth is that there's a chance you could avoid one or two when you go up. But that's in the future. But the way it is at the moment is that I think we're looking at Newcastle City and Cherry. I think it's pretty confident that those two won't probably, unless when they play each other, they won't lose too many more games.
No, correct, Dave. And we covered that game at Hilton Moor a few weeks ago where Terrigal ultimately outclassed Newcastle City. They'll be licking their lips for that game later in the season, that second last round. They'll be wanting to show some retribution at that stage. Although you get to that funny stage where you get... I see those two basically. It's going to be more likely than not those two facing each other in the grand final. It's going to be a matter of those two sides know each other so well that you ultimately know what each side's going to get on each game to game. It's going to be a matter of if they can play different styles to see if they can change how their opposition look at them.
Lucas, I think the interesting thing is, if you're sitting there, put your hand on your heart, and we see footy every week, can any club on their day stop either Newcastle City or Chogolayka getting into the GF?
Well, and that's the discussion we had a few weeks ago. I think, David, it was more based around it would have to be more. Things would have to go wrong for one of those sides rather than one of the sides towards the mid or bottom of the six get a victory, have a really good day rather. So it's going to be interesting to see if it's a matter of if they can. Well, they're going to finish 1 and 2, so they're going to have priority in terms of where they play. So they mightn't have to travel as far or things like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see. And for those two sides in particular, they have very stable 22s from a week to week, whereas some of the other sides have a number of changes each week, David, which makes it harder to get some continuity and team chemistry between those other sides.
Lucas, all very good points. That finishes Conversation Corner for today. It's good to talk with Lucas Holmes and get his insights as to where he thinks things will be. The reality is this, is that you're looking at, in 2 grades, it's hard, it's not impossible, but at this stage, it's very much favoured that it'll be a Terrigal and Newcastle City double-header grand final in both the plate and the cup. Is that a fair statement, given where the clubs are?
Yep.
The women's is an entirely different kettle of fish. I think it's fair to say that Killarney Vale will have a very good shot making a prelim.
Yep.
But after today, that's the second time Maitland's been beaten.
Yeah.
For mine, at full strength, I think that the best sides in the women's are Killarney Vale and Newcastle City.
Yep.
All right. Just behind them is Maitland and Wyong Lakes, who can win on their day.
Yep.
Terrigal and Cardiff run off the end of the 6, and they're not bad sides, don't get me wrong.
No.
Losing Zona for the year is a massive loss. And if you're watching Arizona, I hope you're well. I know you're just about to be about to have that Rico. Losing Zona hurts them badly. They've played very good community football and was most impressive to watch Terrigal last week as well, who were very good in that women's side. I would think that your preliminary finalists, I'd have to go and have a look at the draw. If Maitland play Newcastle City again in the women's, that'd be really interesting. But yeah, if City are at full strength, and I see Taylor Joyce came back last week, you would think that it could be a Killarney Vale Newcastle City grand final, Killarney Vale Maitland grand final. The Maggies still have to learn to kick a winning score, if you know what I mean. They
Yeah.
did it today, but they still win. They want to go football kicking no goals in the second half.
Yeah.
You can't do that against Carnival and Newcastle City because they've got exposure. They've got, as an example, they've got Megan McDonald, they've got Georgia Butler, they've got Jocelyn Kelleher, they've got Ange Jones, who's the best forward in the league.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Lucas, for the conversation corner. Lucas is going to take control of the next few minutes. If you wouldn't mind taking care of that, Lucas, I've just got to assist with a little bit of administration here and paperwork. So I'll leave that with you, Louis, just for a moment until I get back.
I can do that. Here we go. Back to the middle we go. David Parsons out. We'll start us off in this second half here. Wonderful afternoon here at Don Small Oval, as it always is. Grateful for Wyong Lakes Australian Football Club to having us on an afternoon like this. In their fabulous Indigenous jerseys, they are this afternoon, as were Killarney Vale at Fane Oval today. And we're going to be off here. David Parsons with the ball up. Taylor and Toz resume their battle. Parsons once again with the bounce. And a good one at that. Toz left hand down. Harbour out. Can't quite get there. Toz gets a speculative handball up. In and under there. Can't quite get the ball out. And we're going to have a stoppage. We are. Next to the centre circles here in the early doors in this third quarter. Back to Parsons. He'll throw this one up, however. Taylor and Toz. Toz with his right hand down to his good mate in Lee Moore. Moore gets the ball forward. Can't quite find another Wyong Lakes play, however. In and under there, that's Richie. The emergency coming in late. Jones. Jones goes long and high to this outer side. The winds are baited a bit for now. Can't quite get there, McDonald. Here's McMahon. Goes very risky 45-degree kick into the corridor, and it pays off. What are they going to do here? Options everywhere. Will go long down the line and does so. Long and high. Good marking contest there. It's over the back. Swings back on his left boot. Goes forward. More in and under. Taps it forward to himself. In fact, he's gone to Doyle. Oh, great. Don't argue there. Gets a stiff arm straight into his chest legally. Toz lumbering down this left side. Switches it inboard on his left foot. Great pass. Great sliding mark there by Justin McFan. And as David alluded to earlier, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the tougher kicks here. McDonald tries to offer a lead. Gets ignored. And McFan will go back and have a shot on goal. A minute and a half into this third quarter. Very tough angle. No more than 25 metres out from goal. As I was saying, angle's very, very sharp. You can see the breezes, again, are baited for a bit now. McFan going through that process. Keeps the ball low. And it's gone across the face of goal. It's hit the behind post, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll have no score. And the boundary throwing will take place right next to that behind post. Early doors in this third quarter. Had some admin work there to do. And the ball gets thrown back in. Here we go. Ball hits the ground. Where are we going to find this ball? There's McMahon at the back. And that is allowed to rush that through under direct pressure. First score for the quarter. Wyong Lakes 5-7-37. Maitland 6-2-38. Plays on immediately. Does Jordan. Jordan, the kick out specialist now for Maitland, goes to the outer side. The ball hasn't been touched, however. That interpretation's been changed. McFan shrugs one off. Gets the handball into Jones. Jones goes on the loping style kick inside forward 50. They're looking to counter-attack Maitland here. Can they? They can't quite get the ball out. Now they can. Goes laterally to this near side to us. It's right in front of us. Takes a nice one-hander mark there. Does Luke D'Amico. That late number changing into 7. Goes long down the line again. Can't quite find his man in Pedler. Gets the ball over the back to Pedler. Great tackle. Is dispossessed there. Nathan Doyle's in and under. Pedler applies the tackle legally. And we'll have a stoppage in front of the interchange gates here. Centre wing, 3.25 minutes. And David, you're back with us?
I am. Thank you for that, mate. Yeah, just had to fix up a couple of things. Just the one behind this quarter.
Yes, just the rush behind there. Patrick McMahon. This ball's now come in front of us here. And that wonderfully painted Indigenous flag on the boundary line. Doran's at the bottom of it. What's the decision going to be? It's going to be a ball up. That's what it's going to be. D'Amico helping his teammate up there. Bottom of the pack once again was Doran. It's been impressive today for Maitland. Here's Taylor. Taylor gets a nice left hand out. Runs into his teammate there, does more. Is that going to be 15 metres? It's not. It's going to be play on. Eade gets held by Greaves. Gets a nice handball out there. Gets back onto his left side as McMahon. McMahon goes straight through the centre corridor. Can't quite get there that time, just Pankhurst. Pankhurst, however, butters up for more. Amazing handball over his shoulder. Newstead gets the one around the corner inside forward 50. Ball bounces at right angles. What can they do? Doyle gets one off the outside of his boot and gets marked by his brother Nathan. Nathan goes, very impressive young footballer. Nathan Doyle goes to Raslin. Raslin, nice chipping ball in his left boot. Nice mark there. Great mark. Out. Goes immediately, plays on, goes inside forward 50. However, it's chopped off.
Gee, McMahon got that back there quickly, Lucas.
He did. Very athletic. Pat McMahon goes for a booming kick to the outer side. Pinpoint accurate too. Mind you, goes short in the corridor. They're here. Here's Harbrow. Steaming through here is Newstead. Steps inside one. Steps inside another. Gets hit. Was it late? No. Allowed to play on his Doran. Doran gets a right foot kick early. He's taken the man. Is he going to be penalised? No. Nathan Doyle's at the bottom. Gets his opponent off balance. Gets there. Gets a quick scrubby kick out. It's a goal, David. Pankhurst kicks his second. Walter Pankhurst with his second goal. And Maitland stretch ahead even further once more. Maitland 7-2-44. Wyong Lakes 5-7-37.
With thanks to Belmont 16-footers, Lucas Holmes, and it's a great place. It's a fantastic venue for so many reasons, the location itself. However, we've got Elliot Davey Medal Night there on the 4th of September. It is a wonderful night, and it's a superb venue, and they look after us so well, don't they? It's the home of the Hunter Central Coast AFL, Luke.
They sure do. I was looking at that the other day as well, David, which falls in my second week of my mid-semester break, so I'll be home, which is good.
Yes, I won't go with my usual gibberish.
No.
Works travelling
wise,
you do get a reasonable amount of breaks there.
I do, but it works travelling wise as well. I thought I was going to have to travel back and tight, but I'll be there right in time.
Braden Toz kicks that one forward. Patrick McMahon reads it best. Out comes McFan, I beg your pardon. Tries to step McMahon and can't. Comes back second effort. Ball out of bounds, McDonald. McMahon's asking for deliberate. Maitland have kicked the 6 of the last 7 goals and are now 7 points in front of Wyong Lakes. Here on a rather cool and blustery afternoon. It is not a warm day. Redden's gone the gloves and the blanket. I might get the beanie out shortly. In fact, that's a good idea. Toz grabs it out the ruck contest. Raslin got more tape than King Tutankhamun on his right leg. And is that... Oh, wow! I'm a bit like the Maitland players. I'm a bit bemused by that decision. I thought that Raslin might have got rid of that illegally. However, the umpires say that it's indicated that he's been held out of that. So, yep, might have to push on. Raslin to kick his second, and Wyong Lakes really need this goal. The breeze is favouring Maitland at the moment. Raslin going through his process. Onto his left. Goal umpire, as Lucas Holmes would say, ladies and gentlemen, does not move. Wyong Lakes are 6-7-43. Maitland 7-2-44. It's 1 point in it. We're in the middle of a thriller here, Lucas Holmes, at Wyong Lakes. Again, we come to this ground and get some high-quality football.
We sure do, David. And you're seeing that scoreboard in front of us. Maitland have only had the 9 scoring shots to Wyong Lakes' 13, and yet they're a point up. So 4 less scoring shots and they're a point up, David. It shows Wyong Lakes profligate shooting early in this game.
May come back. Word, that profligate.
It is hard to get out, but well worth it. And might come back to bite them in the end. Back to Grimmer and Toz this time, resuming battle once more. Give that one to Grimmer, actually. Gets a nice right-hander back. Gets smothered Doran, goes straight into the ground. Harbrow's at the bottom there. Carroll makes a good tackle legally, and there'll be another ball up. Just on the outer side of that cricket block there.
Harbrow's here and got the ball straight onto his snoz. Now, he's already got the headband on, but he got the ball straight onto his nose and was struggling a bit. Also, that Keaton Jones kick may come back to haunt Wyong Lakes, Lucas Holmes. Braden Toss must have been interfered there in the ruck contest and has got a free kick. Goes on to that trusty left of his driving low ball. I'm assuming looking for McFan. Gets him out in front of Dylan Bennett. Screws it over the corner. Looking for the one of the Glacken brothers. There's about 900 of them. That one was banned in 23. McFan gets a grubby kick out. Oh, a chance. Where's Nathan Doyle? He's the one running onto it. That's Greaves. Ball just sits up in the air. Still in. Leemore, dangerous in here. Watch him snipe. Most unselfish. That is such a clever kick. Mitchell Eade's got this kick now. Lucas with this breeze. This is a tough kick for the big man. It's not too far from us. Will's camera will present a really good view of this, but I'm thinking outside the right goalpost. Lucas with this breeze. Driving ball. Mitchell's a thumping kick, but watch the wind take this on. This is a tough kick from Death Valley.
Started at central. And there you go. It's missed it all. No, it's just snuck through for a point.
And we're dead level.
We sure are. 6-8, 44. Maitland 7-2, 44. They play on immediately. Bennett goes long and high to the outer side. Lace out. Drops a mark that he should have taken that time. Tries to fend up for more. Gets there. Does Wood. Gets out of one tackle. Wood on his left foot. Inside forward 50. And McFan once again in front of Carroll.
How
takes a nice low mark.
Important was that drop sitter over there? That was an uncontested chest mark off a beautiful kick. And as good football sides do, they've made them pay. Now McFan's kicking straight in. Interestingly, this is a better kick to kick than was Eade. Eade was kicking across breeze. McFan, who's a smart player, he's kicking into it. And Lucas, half goalpost heights to go, I reckon. Yeah, driving low one. Let's watch McFan go through this to put the Maggies in front.
He's put it up some.
That is a superb kick, Justin McFan. Really is a class act. Wyong Lakes. Let me just put the score in. 7-8-50. And Maitland 7-2-44 with McFan second, Lucas. Again, really clever kick, and they've made them pay for the mistake. And at this level of football, that's what you've got to do.
That's what they've needed to do. Still put a bit of air in that, did McFan, but controlled it well enough to put it through. And back to the middle we go once more. I'll tell you what, the Subway Morisset player of the match is going to be hard to decipher later in this game, David. It's had some very all-rounded performances from a number of players so far today.
I will ask one question of you. Where was this form from Maitland earlier in the season? Yeah, they're actually playing competitive football against all teams at the moment.
And then without one of their better strike forwards in Ben Crowley as well, David, after he kicked 5 or 6 in that game a fortnight ago that we covered.
Indeed.
Here's Jordan at the back, being one of their better players as well. Uses their outside of his right boot, but it's going to be picked off by Eade, almost in the exact position he was no more than 1 or 2 minutes ago. Eade will just pop this to the top of the square. It's going to be a very hard one to mark. There's a big pack of players there. Gets pushed out at the back, not paid. McMahon gets the handball out. In another, there's D'Amico. He almost gets dragged in without it and does.
That's a very clever effort in getting that free kick, Lucas.
It was D'Amico and Eade. Eade gets it out.
Kick to goal, son!
Eade squares it. Very unselfish. Over the head of Cogden. Here come Maitland on the counter-attack. They're going to attack this corridor. And they're over the back here. Goes once more. Is it on? There's one-on-one. 2 one-on-ones there. Jones is holding. Or he's being held. Yeah, rather. Is that 50 metres there?
Me.
Was it hold on. So he's kicked that through for a goal, but there's no advantage.
Is this a free kick to Maitland?
It is.
Wow, that's an interesting thing. They must have... We're a long way from it, and I was sort of watching on the naked eye, so I'm not going to comment on the veracity of the decision.
Yeah.
But it's I thought they were having a crack at one another, so interesting. Ryan Stanton right in a good spot. Again, I wasn't watching on the screen. You probably had much better view than I was. I was watching on the naked eye, and they're about 130 metres from me.
It would have depended on the angle as well, but Ryan Stanton's has got the right one, and Matthew Guy misses. So all that for nothing.
7-3-45 Maitland, and Wyong Lakes 7-8-50. There's 2 shots from point blank range that have missed, so they're almost square now. Doyle. Josh at the back line. Thank you, Lucas. Gee, the kicking's hard today. You've got to hit them sweetly, just like McFan did. McMahon, that's dangerous to let him on his own. Goes back with the handball to Spriggs. Coming hard at it. Oh, good contest. Really good from McMahon. Went hard at it. Just that little bit harder than his opponent in Josh Glacken. Now, free kick's been plucked out of there. Another kick to Maitland here. And that looks like...
Ritchie.
Bailey Ritchie in 1. That's all right. McMahon in there. No, Doyle gets it out left-footed. Should be a chest mark, tumbling mark taken. No, he didn't. Dropped it. Eady's got a lot of touches this quarter. Free kick behind play. Now, that looks like it's going to be a downfield free kick.
Got to be, hasn't it?
And it's plays continuing on, so away. Mork won't jump. He'll stay at ground level, I'd imagine. Tapped out brilliantly to Harrison Harbrow, who's got an eternity to get rid of it, and gets rid of it to D'Amico Luke. Carroll's run wide for him, and there he is in 23, the ginger nut. Right in front of us. Shorter ball is perfect to Pankhurst. Now, has he dragged him down? No, he hasn't. He's asking for 5 metres. Play on now. Over there to Mitchell Greaves. G'day, Kev, if you're watching. Oh, lovely spin move there. Really clever. Right, Adams. Toz, left-hand handball. Isn't perfect, but sits up beautifully for Doyle. Josh. Out there to Greaves. Matthew will go square to Spriggs and misses him. Spriggs had enough room. Wyong Lakes, good work. Now, has Doyle been legged? No, he's been paid for holding the ball. And free kick to Aiden D'Amico. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you. Ball will be given back. It's going to D'Amico. It's not Doyle's free kick, although it could have gone either way, but it was ultimately the right call. D'Amico. Long and high inside forward 50 for Maitland. There's a one-on-one contest there. Harbrow's at the bottom of it. Guys in and under 2 trying to tackle. Raslin does very well to evade 2 tackles. Gets tipped on to Eade. Was looking for Glacken. Misses Glacken. Goes to Cogden. They're busting through the middle here. A Wyong, but can't quite get there. Mark Taken, not 15, play on to Nathan Doyle. Doyle goes long and high, and there's a number of Saints there. Can't quite get there. That's almost high contact against Eade, going to the way of Carroll, and that was the way David Parsons sees it. And there'll be a free kick. And Dustin Spriggs telling all his teammates where to go. Very intelligent player. Footballer is Dustin Spriggs. And there we go. Patrick McMahon, centre half forward.
He was dispossessed by the Wyong Lakes backman there. That's 50. Or yeah, I reckon that's dissent, Lucas Holmes. I'm sure that is dissent because he was dispossessed of football. Parsons let it go. And then he's either gone over the mark or said something rude. And Patrick McMahon, and it's a second 50, so that's 100. That's the second time today we've seen a 100-metre penalty, and Patrick McMahon will put Maitland in front. Maitland 8-3, 51. Wyong Lakes 7-8, 50 off the back of a 100-metre penalty. Poor discipline there. Patrick McMahon's first today, and no surprise to us to see Patrick McMahon go forward, Louis, at all.
Not at all, David. They've finally flicked the switch and taken McMahon forward. It will be interesting to see if that was just for a few minutes or not. And that back line of Wyong Lakes have huddled down. You see in that far pocket from where we are now. Some instructions being taken out there from the coach, from Coach Solomons. And the ball's been taken back to Riley Luck here. In the middle, Grimmer and Toz. Toz is basically rucked by himself all day, as you'd expect. And Grimmer and Taylor have been 2 handy additions. A duo against Toz. Eade in on a sniping. Gets a push in the back after it, so that'll be, good. No advantage. So back to Eade.
The play had stopped. That's why there's not the advantage.
Correct.
Okay.
Back to Eade. We'll go long and high. We'll sit this at the top of the 50. Who's there? McFan's there. Gets a push out. However, it's turned over for Maitland. They go long and high back to where it's come from. And Mitch Logan will immediately play on a chip back to Eade in the middle. He can play on or he can go wide. Decides to stay stationary. Goes to McDonald. Mark's right there in the centre circles. McDonald looking at his options. Was he called to play on? If not, it should have been 50. That's not a mark. That's play on. In and under there. Can quite get there. There's Harbrow. Gets a nice scrubby kick to the outside. It's going to be marked. Goes over the head of Doyle. Josh Doyle. Maitland have got their numbers. Had a 2-on-1 here. Touches the ground. Had to do D'Amico. Goes long and high. Forward 50. 1-on-1. Can't quite get there. Around on his left boot. And they run into an open goal. There's Pankhurst. Makes up for that drop mark in their back half earlier. And Pankhurst runs in and kicks his 3rd goal.
And the scores, Maitland 9-3, 57, well called Lucas Holmes, and Wyong Lake 7-8, 50. What's interesting is as players are tiring, this game is opening up. Mitchell Lee doesn't have an opponent and is running loose across half back. But what's also happening is that Maitland's really launching. This is not a huge ground here at Wyong Lake.
No, not at all.
It's a reasonable sized ground.
Yeah.
But Maitland are going forward and they're creating lots and lots of space up here in the Wyong back line. You would think that at some stage Michael Solomons might drop someone back there. Now 7 points down. They're in kicking into the breeze, and the breeze is there. It's about 10 or 15 clicks at the moment. So it's interesting. How do they go about it now? What do they do now, Wyong Lakes? How are they going to go through the next 5-6 minutes for the end of this quarter, which in fact it is. It's 6 minutes to go. Toz to Moore, beautiful spin move out of there. Dancing with the Stars, take a nod. Lee Moore. However, the ball gets dropped. Good. No, not mark taken. He's a bit awkward there. Keaton Jones gets that ball out wide. Should be a chest mark, uncontested. Taken there by Josh Clacken. Going to go short. And a poor kick, and I do mean poor. He was in open pasture and had a 25-metre kick and picked out Patrick McMahon. McMahon, a good driving ball right in front of us. Good contest at the back, and I mean really good. Drove his knee. Ead'll get that out. And couldn't quite hit his man on a 1-2. Really good contest there made by Maitland Laxer at the back. Drove his knee into his player, legally of course. Toz and Grimmer. Crowd getting into it. This is a real pleasure to be here today. Really enjoying calling footy for you on Bar TV with my main man here, Lucas Holmes, our chief commentator. Out there for me, that will be Lucas, his 8th or 9th touch this quarter at least. I do say that, and I do mean what I'm saying. Lucas Holmes has taken on a much bigger load in the last 8 to 10 weeks and has taken over that mantle of chief commentator very well. Louis, you're a credit to yourself. Well done, mate.
Thank you, David.
Hope you're enjoying it.
No, it's great to have the support here as Todd takes that down. Eade running through, didn't have prior opportunity. Allowed to play on, gets a tap out to Zeed. Players losing their feet all over the place, and we'll have a stoppage here. Just at the edge of the centre square, this right edge here. Ryan Stanton with the football. Looking at the not much sun left here on this Saturday afternoon here. Torres goes thump with that left hand. Can they keep this ball in? They can. He loses his feet. Takes one tackle on as the ball's gone out of bounds, so we'll have a boundary throw in.
Boundary umpire Lucas, to give credit, perfectly positioned. Couldn't have been in better position. And again, you were right. It's noticeable again, losing their feet. We saw this last week at Terrigal, didn't we? Or at East Coast, I do beg your pardon. We saw that last week as well with the grounds having. And of course here, you can actually see the water in the back. It's really low. There's Jordan. This will be a chase and a half. Off he goes. Good delivery. However, Carter Jones reads it best. Can he pick it up? He does. Ducks his head. Misses with a kick. Maitland, can they go out open pasture again? That's out there through Mitchell. Pankhurst, short little handball. Harbrow's in here on his own in the centre. Goes back from whence he came. Goes backwards. They're mucking around. The Maggies putting pressure on. Surely that's a free kick for holding the football. Over the shoulder. Free kick, and well done, Wyong Lakes. Can't play on now. Got to go back. The play had stopped, if I'm reading Lucas Holmes correctly. Morris. 21 and a half gone in the third quarter of this fascinating fixture. Kicks it in the man on the mark. Good job by the man on the mark, but a poor kick. Moore. Back to Morris. Still not much of a real good kick there. It's gone straight through the middle. Straight comes Patrick McMahon. He'll hit someone. Don't worry about that. Perfect work, Patrick McMahon. The cream to the crop. Can they kick a goal on the run? Doran! And it stays. Boundary umpire, I think, called that out of bounds on the bounce. If I read Christine correctly, I'm right. And it's 2.5 minutes left. Maitland up by 7 points. Lucas James home.
Thank you, David. Out of bounds called there by Nellie Biden there to the left of screen. A boundary ball comes in. Yeah, Grimmer gets that out. McDonald goes whack with a right fist. And that's skewed off the outside of the boot on the line. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
That was lucky. Straight up lucky. When we come back at the end of out of our 3 quarter time break, we'll have updates from around the grounds for you. It's been pulsating action here. We really haven't had the time. And so it's always good to just sit there and concentrate on good cold July football, which it is. It is not a warm day in this part of the world. Mitchell Leeds almost been the best player on the ground this quarter. That might be holding the ball against him, though, this time.
Tried to shrug a few tackles and then got a one-handed handball away.
If you were that build, wouldn't you want to shrug tackles as well? Wish I was built like it.
I can't argue with you, actually.
Pankhurst on a very good lead. Jones flew at the end. But Pankhurst, who's played representative football the week and took one of the marks of the season anywhere in Australia, is going to take that play here. Has got to clear away from him. He's just walking around and walk away from him. He does. So Pankhurst, Lucas, for me, for his 4th.
Yep.
Got to go left side. Does. And finishes the business. What an important goal with 90 seconds left. Waddle Pankhurst, 4th goal. Maitland, that shooting really helping now. 10,363. Wyong Lakes 7,850 with thanks to Tyre Power, Bar TV, Subway Morisset, CFM 101.3, ISC, and Awards Are Us. Lucas James Holmes for the last minute.
Spot on, David. Back to the middle we go. Maitland kicked 13 points clear. The margins haven't been that wide today, David. It'll be one of the wider ones today, I would have thought.
Yeah, when Wyong had some real good spots back down here. You're right. Actually, you're right. You're spot on. Maybe Wyong early on, Lucas. Maybe they kicked 3 or 4 early.
A few points either way, but out to 13 points now. Remembering Wyong Lakes have got a warning for centre square as well, so they come straight at the middle of the Doyle, and McPherson comes flying in late. Can't quite get there. Chopped off. Mullen try and counter-attack once more. Can they get this ball out to the other side? They can. They work it out. Out to centre wing here. Mark taken there by Taylor. Been a bit quieter, although Grimmer's taken most of the ruck duties. So maybe having a rest, Taylor. Taylor goes long and high to a contest. Moore's at front and centre is where you want your Rovers. Goes around the corner, does Richie. Inside forward 50, a creative tap there over the back. What can they do, Maitland? Can they work it out? There's Carolyn and under. A late goal here would be the worst thing possible for Wyong Lakes. There's a shot late. Where's it going to go? And there's a free whistle for what? Excuse me.
I don't know.
There's a free kick going. Then there's a siren in the background. It's going to Matthew Guy. And there's a siren. So he's going to have to go back and take this kick, Matthew Guy. That's going to be a tough one. You can see the edge of the 50 there, right where those other players are grouped up. So it's going to be a tough kick from about 47 metres. Guy gets the ball up. Is it straight? It is. They love it. Matthew Guy with his first goal, the late inclusion for the day. Maitland now 11-3-69. And how important was that? Wyong Lakes 7-8-50 at three-quarter time.
Very, very important, Lucas Holmes. That missed goal by Keaton Jones now comes back to haunt them. We'll have a short break for three-quarter time, and Lucas and I will be back, and I'll have some scores from around the grounds. Back with you shortly. Welcome back. We've just got a message on the line. G'day, Wall, if you're watching. We don't actually have a score on the final scores here from the Warners Bay Killarney Vale game in the women's, but Lucas Holmes will be able to verify because he was umpiring the game. Killarney Vale won the plate game after the siren. Is that correct?
On the siren by 3 points from memory, so a late type win there from Killarney Vale over Warners Bay in the plate.
46-43 was the final score. So Black Diamond Cup scores for you from around the grounds. Singleton 98-62 over Gosford in a thriller, 9-2-56. Maitland up by 19 points here. The other two games, nothing like as close. Newcastle City up by 76 over Warners Bay, and Cardiff up by 70 points over Killarney Vale at the Pasterfield Complex. Just a note, Terrigal have already won today in the Black Diamond Cup due to a forfeit by Nelson Bay, which is most unfortunate. Some plate scores for you. Maitland and Wyong Lakes here a draw. Killarney Vale up by 3. There's the big game. Terrigal defeated Newcastle City by 61 points in the plate. So they're undefeated. I think they've run now 31 games. Musselbrook beat Cardiff by 26. That's a big win. And Lake Macquarie beat Wicks in West Newcastle by 83. And if I can quickly get women's scores, which I'm going to have time to do for you. Okay, let's have a look here. Scores that we can see. Wyong Lakes a big upset over Maitland, 26-18 here. Nelson Bay over Port Stephens by 60. Look at that final score. Lucas Holmes. Terrigal 1-1-7 beat Newcastle City 3 points. So Terrigal has beaten Wyong Lakes and Newcastle City in consecutive weeks. Cardiff 7-13-55 over Musselbrook 139, and Lake Macquarie over Wallsend West Newcastle by 38 points.
And just very quickly, David, Carlton over the Swans at three-quarter time by 7 points, and Fremantle have hit back at Hawthorn, only now trailing by 8 points early in the third quarter at UTAS there at Launceston.
Yes, so those games, just to let you know, the Swans and Carlton, that's the early game at the magnificent Sydney Cricket Ground, and Hawthorn and Fremantle is at York Park in Launceston, or as you, Lucas, correctly called it, the UTAS Stadium.
And your Giants taking on Richmond this afternoon at Giant Stadium, David. 4:35 is going to be an interesting game.
Not overly confident, I'll tell you.
Without Josh Kelly as well for the next week as well, which I'm slightly smiling about here.
Yes, I wonder why. Away we go, quarter number 4, Lucas James Holmes.
Thank you, David. Back to business here. Taylor and Toz. Taylor give that one to Just. Down to Doyle's. Doyle snipes it, goes deep inside forward 50. Wong need a fast start here. Over the back here. Can they keep the ball in? Great tackle in the end by Spriggs. Spriggs keeps the ball in. Wong, furthermore, Doyle whips it round on his right boot. Can he keep the ball in? He does in front of McFan, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Deep inside Wyong's forward 50, and it's imperative they need the first goal in this last quarter, David.
They do, and the breeze has almost dropped away down there, just a little bit at the tops of the trees, but over in that corner near the Daintree, it's almost perfectly still, Louis.
Greaves and Eade is an interesting ruck contest.
Indeed. Patrick Lamar handball out to Miko. Moore. Carroll. Trouble. Can't get rid of it. Umpire Parsons says, that's mine, thank you. Wyong Lakes need for mine to kick 5 goals in a quarter. Can they do it? Can they draw something out of their magic box? Can they do it? Without Tim Hillman, of course. Congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Hillman on getting married last week. They miss him. They miss his drive. Chris Coop, folks, not here today either. Those two players would make an enormous difference. This interesting role for Patrick Mann, sitting back at centre-half backs. It's worked so far for them, Lucas. They haven't needed him up forward. Pankhurst had a day out.
He has his pinch hit forward, McMahon, for that little sequence last quarter. But other than that, he hasn't been seen much forward of the football. Shows how well Maitland performed today in the end. Coming a long way down here on the Central Coast from their home at Rutherford, which we were a few weeks ago. Gets the ball inside forward 50. Eade's in and under. He's been one of their better players today, Eade, for the Magpies. Get the ball out they can. McDonald is in and under there. The ball gets spun out the blender. McFan forward. Gets the ball to Moore along in and under the ground. It will be easier for Moore to get. But the ball goes out of bounds. Deep inside forward 50 for Wyong. Lots of forward pressure early, David.
Not just not input. Whistle. Why is that whistle being blown?
They trying to have issues with nominating the ruck contest, maybe, is my only thinking behind that. Go on. 19
points of difference to Maitland. 2.5 minutes gone. Fourth quarter here at the Don Small Oval in Tacoma. Eade and McMahon, as you expect McMahon with that long reach on his hands and knees. Who's going to get to this ball first? Picked up McFan. Goes backwards. McFan still out there. On his hands and knees out there was Josh Glacken. Is that deliberate? Umpire Stanton says, I'll have a throw in. Thank you. 3 minutes gone, fourth quarter. Eads up in the ruck again, along with Greaves. Now, that wouldn't have been in the plans for this game. I'll tell you, he should use his body. Well done, Greaves. Avoided body contact. They're tackling well today. Is that a throw? It's holding the ball. Harrison Harbrow with the kick. And Lucas Holmes.
Thank you. Harbrow surveying his options. Goes the defensive option, goes long down the line. Great mark taken out there. It was Kennywell diving away. Kennywell gets long inside forward 50 in last sunshine here at Don Small Oval. Been a nice but windy day, and that's going to be high contact. In his back or over the shoulder, take your pick. Short chipping ball inside forward 50, gets smothered over the boundary line, or is it going to stay in? Indeed, it stays in. Pedlar's there, gets ripped out, and they've paid for a throw. The throw's been paid. And is that 50 metres as well? It is.
Wow. Why would you even say anything when you're 19 points up in the last quarter, Lucas? That's just dopey. Honestly, that is dopey and silly and undisciplined.
Further ill discipline shown by both sides today, not just one. What are they going to do here? Is Edwards. Been fairly quiet today, but nonetheless, goes long and high. Inside forward 50 does Edwards. Dropping the ball there, having a dribbling shot on goal.
Oh, you're kidding.
And he's kicked it. What a goal. Mason Laxer with the Jason Dunstall special along the ground. And he makes them pay, and that's what they needed. The Wyong Lakes Australian Football Club needed the first one, and that's what they've got. 8-8-56, Maitland 11-3, 69.
Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Support local businesses. Subway, Lucas Holmes.
Eat fresh.
There's one for the Maggies. It's taken them 5 minutes.
As you say, David, they're going to have to kick at least another four more at least to win this game.
The conditions are the best they've been all day. They really are not too bad at all at the moment, other than being cold, and that's irrelevant for players that are warm.
Harbrow gets it out to the outer side. Can Maitland counter? They would like one back. There's a swarm of magpies at the fore of the ground there. They got the numbers. Can they get it, though? They can't. Gets screwed to get round there by Richie. They got a one-on-one. Was looking for the bounce over the head was Pedlar. Does well not to infringe Pedlar. Great tackle laid from behind. And there's another one. There's a bit of infighting on the ground there with Kennywell and Jones.
Oh, he's pinged him. Jones was punching at the ball, and interestingly, where umpire Parsons was somewhat obscured, and Jones was sitting there pretty much punching the ball, trying to make a
genuine attempt.
A visible attempt, and they put a tackle on him, and perhaps he dragged the ball back in. And Newstead's kicked it. Wow. That's a big goal in the context of this game. Maitland at 12-3-75. Maitland and Wyong Lakes 8-8-56. It can be very hard for them to win now. They really have to kick all the rest of the goals in the game, Louis.
Hit back immediately through Riley Newstead. Impressive midfielder. It was very good for Gosford, for Maitland rather, against Gosford a fortnight ago.
We get to have a look at one of the best teams in our women's comp next week. And Lucas Holmes will be with us for the women's game as well, with Warners Bay having a bye on the plate. Lucas Holmes and I will be at Duke Bell Oval in Killarney Vale, calling Killarney Vale and Nelson Bay in both grades. And as I said, we get to see a pretty decent women's side. Get to catch up with Kate Holland and Gemma Astley and a few of the others. Be great.
We do, indeed. Back to the middle we go. Tyler's left-handed down, looking for more. More can't quite get there. Herev's turned over from that scrubby kick. Jones goes towards us here. Centre wing, just on the edge of the square there. Cogden, is he dived on that, David? I think he's going to get... No, he's not going to get pinged. I thought he was thinking about it for a minute there, was umpire Stanton. But there's a bit of feeling in this game now. Trying to get his player up was Lee Moore. Trying to protect his youngster in Cogden. Grimman gets almost that one uncontested. Doyle on his right boot goes low. Gets a bouncing ball inside forward 50. Gets picked up. Makes a very good tackle and is pinged, holding the football. got the kick away, but after the 360 revolution, David, so that's why it was paid.
That was my next question, and you've answered it perfectly. He got a disposal away. Injured player, I think, over here with Ryan Stanton. Is that Patrick McMahon?
That looks like a 0. It is.
So McMahon haunched over here. Now he's up on his legs, so now we can continue. He's struggling. He's wounded.
And
he's not in a good way. I wonder if he's concussed or whether he's taken a blow into the abdomen and lower stomach area, because he looks very ordinary at the moment. Short kick comes in from Laxer. Kicked a goal a minute ago. He should have taken that mark, Mounier, actually. Out there to Moore. Tries to pilfer. Eid sitting off the side. There's Eid now. Screws it around as far as he can, which isn't overly far, unfortunately, for Wyong Lakes. Handball coming out. This is where Maitland have been so effective today across half-back. Gee, they've been good over here. And they create so much space. They really have been. It's a good performance today so far. Grimmer punches it. Doesn't go really anywhere in particular. Joyle's got to get rid of that, and he does very quickly. And Luxor, fortunately, goes straight to Braden Toz.
He didn't really control that ball, did Doyle, but lucky to kick away to Toz. Toz goes long down the line, and there's a free kick. Where's it going to? Is it going to Menia? Is it play on advantage, or is it? Are they playing on? They are. It's going to go out of bounds in front of McPhan, deep inside Wyong Lakes' forward 50, David.
You've been telling me and our viewers today about the advantage rule and how you can't stop. There was a case where I think play had actually stopped.
Stopped, yeah.
I know it was quick. It's one of those subtle little things in our game. But if I'm reading what you've told me, if that play stops, if he goes straight away and swoops on it, go.
Yeah.
That wasn't
continuous.
the case.
It wasn't. No, I'm with you on that one.
If I've listened to you correctly.
Yeah, no, I think that one should have been brought back, but nevertheless, is that going to be downfield?
Yes, that was the whistle I heard. It is. Yeah, good decision. Good spot, Lucas Holmes. That's Carroll, I think, in 23. Again, that is a wetter into the ground, but why? There's been a lot of it today. There was too much last week too. Oh, gone. Moore's done so well there. Thumps it up forward, trying to get McPhan one-on-one. He does. Roving here, one of the Laxer brothers. Oh, you're joking. What a brilliant goal, Aaron Laxer. So, Wyong Lakes hanging around. Aaron Laxer's goal. Wyong Lakes, Lucas Holmes, 9-8-62. How important is that? Keaton Jones miss. Maitland, 12-3-75. It's 13 points of difference here at the Don. 10.5 minutes gone in quarter number 4. Over to our chief commentator, Lucas James Holmes.
They haven't yet to breach that about 2-goal margin in the last quarter or so, David. So this is where they've struggled. They conceded straight away after that first goal from Ryan Newstead kicking Maitland straight back into this. They need this centre clearance. And Braden Toz is going to look to achieve that, and it's going to be recalled this time. So David Parsons will now throw this football up as per. And here we go again. Toz and Grimmer. It's been Toz has had the batter, but it hasn't been a one-way show. Gets the ball down this time. Inside Maitland's forward 50. Here we go. Goes around. Guys in and under if he can get this handball off. He can. Butters up for more. Gets a little scrubby kick away to Jones. Is that going to be holding the ball? It is. It's been paid advantage. Doyle on this outer side. Hits Toz. Butters up for more Toz. Nice short kick to looking for Eid. 2-on-1. Eid loses out. Busting through the middle is D'Amico. Luke this time. Goes inside forward 50. Players stop. Here we go. Luxor. Mason this time. Gets a handball out. They've got numbers at the bottom here. Why can they make the most of it? They can. Or can they? Moore's in and under. Burrowing for the football as he's so often good at. Below his knees. Well done. Goes to Doyle on that left side. Goes long and high to the outer side. Newstead's leading the chase, and we'll see it over the boundary. Almost true centre wing possession here at Don Small Oval, and we'll go from some scores around the ground. So over to you, David.
No, stick with it. I've just got to go and refresh it and do it. I've got to take the gloves off as well. It doesn't like me when I have the gloves on, Louis. So you go ahead, mate. I'll just come back over here.
Back we go. Grimmer and Toz once again. Doran and Gluck into the fall of the ball. There's Doran in and under. Runs into his own mate in Carroll. Gets a handball over his head. There's Toz. Here they go. Wyong Lakes starting to get the ball forward now. There's some more continuity in their ball movement. McPhan goes forward. McDonald's there at the for the football, so is Wood. Wood almost drags his opponent out, and that's what's been paid. And that was advantage this time. No, it's coming back.
And that's interesting. That was continuous, and then Parsons saw that Taylor was in trouble. That's a really interesting. Again, the advantage rule is interesting. Yeah. Singleton up by 6 points over at Adcock. The only other close game at the moment is here between Wyong Lakes and Maitland. The others are done and dusted. But, Singleton up by 6 points at the moment over Gossett at Adcock Park. 9-10 to 9-4.
Yeah. They're allowed to choose the players themselves if they're going to take the advantage or not. And that point, he stopped and raised his hands, which meant the advantage was abated and wasn't paid. And well tackled there, Eid.
I agree with you that Eid's had a good day today. He's got a lot of the football. Again, for periods, he's been run alone and unattended.
Through the centre corridor as well, which is you don't see that very often, Toz. It was almost a third man.
I was going to say, it was also a block out. Dragged out of that, thought, must be a chance to Mooney. From 10 metres, he's missed. However, that gets them within 2 straight kicks. So, if you can have an important point, what are you looking at, Louis? I stopped it, did I? Thank you. So, thank you very much. I must have just... that was an accident. So, yep, we think there's about 11 minutes gone in the quarter. It was dead stop, was it? Thank you. Apologies for that.
So, slightly... Maybe when you change windows, maybe, but
possibly
that happens.
It does.
As we know.
He's had a bounce. He's in trouble. He's got to go long now down the line. It's the only option. There's 1-on-2 here. Good contest made on McFan. Good bump, Toz. McFan a handball out to Keaton Jones. Back over here to Logan. He's in all sorts. Gone. Great tackle there by Matthew Guy, who's been a very handy late in today for them.
And we didn't see him a fortnight ago. He's been good. Is this going to stay in?
Yes, it does. Over at the back, Carter Jones. Can he get the open side of the ground going? That's a dangerous kick. Doyle on his non-dominant. Gets around and works around to his left foot. They've cleared the danger for the moment. And it's out of bounds. That's not a bad result. Wyong Lakes would have liked to have kept that ball flowing rather than get a stoppage, Louis.
They did, but it's the best they could do. Got the ball, advanced the ball almost to centre wing here. Need the ball more in their forward half. Probably about halfway through this last quarter here. About 12 or 13 minutes gone, we think. And we're going to boundary throw in here. Toz and Grimmer. Grimmer goes for body. That's not going to be 15. Kicked up to himself. Punches it out. Gets turned over. Maitland once more go deep inside forward 50. Kenny Wells sitting at full forward. Gets picked off by Doyle. Josh Doyle goes back to his left boot and goes long and high out to the wing. Toz leading the chase. Puts good pressure on. There's Doyle once more. Great chase down tackle, however, gets a boot away. Glacken. Josh Glacken goes long and high to the outer side and gets picked off this time.
Greaves,
thank you. Michael Graves. Chipping ball back to centre wing. Was it caught? Oh, lucky. Very lucky there. Is that Spriggs on that outer side there?
It is the old fella.
Dustin Spriggs. Looks to bring it back through the corridor. A bit of a shank kick, maybe. Gets it high. Gets punched at the back there by Doyle. They're going to take the game on here, Maitland. They're going to go across his body. He's going to go high. And great mark taken, Kenny Well. Good forwards. Ball dropped, played in front, took a good mark on his knees. And we'll have a shot. No, he's going to play on. Look for the guy running off. Feinted to do that. Goes to the top of the goal square. Maitland have a 2-on-1 disadvantage. Steps inside, gets Shepherd. That was Guy. Does very well there. Is this going to be deliberate, though? That's the question.
Was a good question, too. Now, that smother could very well have kept Wyong Lakes in this game. That goes to goal, I reckon they're Gonskis. Yep. They're not gone. They are not gone. They're not playing great football,
but they're hanging there.
They're hanging in there. You've got to praise them for at least that. I think Maitland will be very happy with where they are at the moment. Of course they would be. More a long ball. And a mark missed there by Mitchell Greaves. Now gets to pick the ball up. Head over the football. Goes short. Is that 15? Harbrow's been really... the camera foreshortens it. Yeah, Harbrow's been very good today. That is 15. And hits Aiden D'Amico. Maitland controlling the tempo at the moment. Short again. And no mark. Doyle does a good job. Can they get a kick up? They need to move quickly, Wyong Lakes. They've got to score, as we said, 4 goals this quarter. Or perhaps below the lead. He's not paid. Toz. That's a free against Braden, I think. Chris Pedler with the free kick. Pedler. He's too far out. There is the slightest of breeze. Just looking over here to the naked eye up forward. Jones is in the hole at the moment, going back now. Pedlar's got a good bit of that. It's going to fall short. Where are the Rovers? Guy's over there with Keaton Jones. Guy's first to it, misses it. Pankhurst immediately beset upon. Over there to Keaton Jones. In a rush, gets it forward. Is that a downfield free or has the ball gone out? Or did the ball actually go out? There's a skirmish over here on the right. Handbags at 10 paces. Is that Pankhurst going to take a free kick out there? It is. Walter Pankhurst is going to go back. And trust me, Louis, this is a tough kick. Of course, we didn't see that. That was behind the play. Walter Pankhurst to kick 5. This will be, if he kicks this, it'll be a great kick. He is sore. Goes Stevie J. Plays on. Doesn't get it at all. Oh, it's going to fall forward. You're kidding me. Pedlar could have taken a mark there, I would have thought. Carter Jones thumps it down the middle. This is all the Wild Eyes can do. Mounier makes a contest. Nathan Doyle, that's the guy you want to get it to. Oh, plays kick over there and kicks it to himself and gets it. Doyle thumps it forward. Pagans Paddock's on here. They've got to run to the forward line. Gee, he has to kick this goal. Oh, my goodness, he has!
Ben Glacken.
Ben Glacken, thank you very much, Lucas Holmes. If ever you've kicked a pressure goal, that's it. Ben Glacken in
23.
23, thank you, Louis. I couldn't see his number. Wyong Lakes 10-9-68, as we just said, hanging on. And Maitland just a one straight kick in front. They had 4 minutes of football, and they counter Pagans Paddock and kicks a massive pressure goal. Maitland up by 6 points. Lucas James home.
Very similar to that goal from Ranger earlier this morning, David, at Fane Oval. They intercepted back pass, trying to chew some time up. I think it was Jeremy Buckley looking for Josh Nicol and intercepted and kicked the goal right on the siren. However, we come back here. Looking for Doyle on the way down was Toz. Gets a little scrubby kick down. Here's Cogden on his right side. Gets the ball going forward. Here's the goal kick in. Play the tackle. No. Play the whistle, guys. Play on. That was Glacken with the tackle. Wasn't applied. And there's a high. Tackle late. And it's going in Wyong's favour. Paid by the outer zone umpire. And David Parsons had the angle this time. And that's why he paid it. So it's a free kick going the way of Wyong Lakes. Down by a goal, about 18 minutes gone in this last quarter. It's getting tight and tense here at Dunstable Oval. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Great kick. Shallow. Hit out. Great mark. Great lead. McFan, who else? Hits out on the lead. McFan, the mark's probably about 43 or 44 metres directly in front of goal.
And almost still here at the moment. There's just a little, slight tough to breeze at the opposite end of this, where McFan's taking this kick. Playing at home at the moment is helping Wyong Lakes. They've got a bit of impetus up at the moment. And this will be for their 1, 2, 3, 4th. We said they need to kick 4. McFan, absolute pressure kick for him. Let's see him go through this. Justin McFan.
Gone left.
Hit the post if you don't mind. Wyong Lakes 10-10-70. Maitland 12-3-75. At least 5 minutes left in the last quarter. Goes square. Maitland can't sit. Maitland, I reckon, have got to score again. Goes back to whence it came. Mounier on the mark.
It's 50
Does he have
metres.
to come back? He has to come back, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yep.
More great work. And has to go and get the football. And I totally agree with what he's doing. He's got to get the football back to the boundary umpire. It's not the boundary umpire's job to go chasing it.
And there's no time off, remember, ladies and gentlemen, unless the stretch is called.
We'll be in the finals. That's
There will
be interesting. Very. 5 points of difference. Wyong Lakes up. Lucas Holmes.
Thank you, David. Ball's thrown in
Maitland
easy at the
up,
back there. Sorry. There's a free kick played out for a push in the ruck contest.
Is it Mounier?
Well, it's got to be the ruckman, hasn't it?
Mounier, yeah, sorry. I wasn't sure if he was.
No, I wasn't sure. Yeah, no.
And I'm sorry, I made an error a minute ago, and just in the preamble of that, it's Maitland up by 5. Mounier to kick this. Lucas Holmes, take us through.
He's just got to kick straight through it. Grimman on the mark. He's got to keep this low and right post, and he's skewed it majorly. Has it missed everything? No, a point. Maitland now up by 4 points. 10-11-71. Maitland 12-3-75. About 20 minutes gone in this final quarter, David. They play on immediately. Takes a bounce. Can touch the ground, whatever you like. out here. They've got a 2-on-1. Toz is at the back. Can he get there? No, he can't. Newstead does very well to go front and centre. They've got numbers here. Great mark. Is it going to be a ball up then? No, they've called a play on. If not, he's no prior opportunity there. Back to Toz at quarterback. Very flat left foot here. Looking for Raslin. He's pushed his opponent over there. Not paid. And that was maybe downfield as well. Push off the ball. However, that wasn't paid either. Wheels inside here. Long and high. Who can he find? Mounier's at the front as well. Gets punched from behind. Great defensive work. Des Door at the bottom. Couldn't quite get up on the first try. Here's Door, the second attempt. Pushes it right. It's getting closer and closer. 3 points now the margin. Maitland leading.
And it draws now out of the equation, Lucas, whereas about 2.5 minutes ago it wasn't. Now there won't be a draw now. No. I don't think they'll kick 3 behinds. Wyong with all the momentum at the moment. What can Maitland do? McMahon at the back. McDonald's just done a leg. McMahon straight down the wing. They've got open pasture. Here's the danger man, Pankhurst. Can he get control of the football? One bounce. Here he goes. He's kicking from 60. Gets it long. It's a one-on-one, and it's a push-out, and it's given. And that should be 50 metres.
Yeah, it is.
It is. They've got to get the football. That is no score. Umpire in perfect position. Pedler played on. Riley Luck's gone up to just behind the centre circle, and away goes Doyle. He's got to go long. They can't muck around Wyong Lakes. Kicks it to Patrick McMahon. And again, McMahon's steady play in centre half-back's been pivotal today.
David. I was going to say, must have recovered from that slight injury he had early in this fourth quarter. Sitting back in the slot by the looks of it as well would be a smart move.
Oh, good grab, Taylor, when they needed him. Running off, Pankhurst has been outstanding today. Well done, Maitland. They've got the ball to Pedler just outside 50. McMahon's run forward. He's kicked it over his head. Oh, that's a punch, 1-on-2. Where are the Rovers? Where are the backmen? Here they come in a hurry. Doyle, almost lucky to go away the push of the back. Handball comes out. Pedler! Butcher kicks it straight up there. That shouldn't be a mark. Play on this is desperate stakes for Wyong Lakes. Still in play. Still in. McMahon over the ball. Still in. Ball held in. And I reckon we've got 2.5 minutes, maybe a bit more left. 3 point. This is exactly the right place for Maitland to be. Lucas home.
You would have thought Wyong would have wanted to concede the behind here to have a free kick at it. Toz and Taylor, where's that ball going to go? McMahon, as you said, has gone forward. And Maitland will take this all day. Stoppages late in this quarter.
Yes,
time winds down. They can do nothing else about it, Wyong. They've got to get this ball back and take the bull by its horns. And there's the siren.
So it was a long time. Okay. So
full time here at Don Small Oval in Tacoma. The final score, Maitland 12-3-75 in a nail biter over Wyong 10-12-72.
Well, it's not fair to pick on individual plays in what is a team game, but Wyong Lakes 22 shots at goal, Maitland 15.
Yeah.
So a series of missed kick shots at goal has cost them this game.
Yeah.
Especially up here.
Yeah.
So
you can take into account a few rush behinds, but that, as you said, that missed opportunity from Jones was really the turning point in that. But still, it's not just, as you said, it's not an individual's fault. It's a team game in the end, isn't it?
It is indeed. Wonderful game of football here. Another one. Well, before we go off air, Lucas might start summarising. I might go and get some scores, Lucas, and bring them up now. In fact, it's coming now.
It's coming now. We'll get straight there then.
There's no rush. Oh, well, that's for fabulous result for the Singleton Football Club. Singleton 12-11-83's defeated Gosford 9-4-58. And I think it's going to be very hard to stop Singleton making the 6 now, and they might even sneak in the 5th. Great performance by Maitland here. Newcastle City by 111 and 1 over Warners Bay. That wasn't unexpected. Killarney Bell fought hard, but well beaten by Cardiff, 92-34 by guys. The only thing left for us to do is to cheer everybody and also give our Subway Morisset. I've got a couple of opinions on Subway Morisset.
Start us off.
Yeah, I thought Patrick McMahon was very good. I thought Pankhurst was outstanding.
Yep.
Harbrow had a good day.
Yeah, Harbrow was very good.
Really good. And on the Wyong Lakes, you go Wyong Lakes.
Wyong Lakes. So it was a very team game. I thought Toz, of course, in the ruck was very good, David. Yep. Nathan Doyle was probably my standout for Wyong Lakes on that outer wing. Did running, carrying some very good ball distribution. As well, Mitchell Lead was one of their better players, and of course Lee Moore, David.
Good to see you, Justin. Thanks, mate. Thank you for your help
Thanks,
earlier
Justin.
on.
Thank you.
For mine, I think that for mine, he might not have got a huge amount of possessions, but I think it comes down to Harbrow and Pankhurst.
Yeah.
Where are you on those two?
Pankhurst spent most of his time forward half of the football as Chris Pedler and Mitch Eade exchanged pleasantries there on their boundary, but I think Pankhurst spent most of his time forward and as well, and I think Harbrow was in and under, had a very good day in the centre, so I think Harbrow, in my opinion, is probably the pick of the two. What about you, David?
Subway Morissette goes to Harrison Harbrow from the Maitland Football Club. Thanks to our great man, Will. Great job up there, mate. Must be bloody cold up there because they don't reward out here. It's always a pleasure being here at the Don. They look after us very well. It's a great place, good community football ground, good people. Lucas Holmes, great job today, sir. We'll see you next week. And 2 games. I get to have Lucas in the commentary box for me for the women's commentary. I can't wait. And I might be the chief. I might take chief commentary. Lucas might take the score.
Sounds good.
That sounds good. On behalf of Will and Lucas and myself, David Redden, it's a very cold and afternoon, but a very good afternoon to you all here from the Don, with Maitland taking up this thrilling game by 3 points, 75-72. Good evening from Lucas, Will and myself.